The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Tottenham Away, the best place to be in town post-match day. How you doing? It's been a while. It's been a week of absolute madness. Look, we're going to talk about the Brighton game today because that's what we do on this channel. We talk about games post-match. But our big show is going to be tomorrow, where we're going to break it all down. The season, the week, the cup, the trophy, what it means, and in and out, all this conversation around Levy. And also, I'm going to have a movie coming out at some point in the next month. I've got so much footage, I'm going to bring it together, journeying the whole week. But before all that, smash like, subscribe, hit notification bell, all that good stuff. Thanks for being here as always. I don't know who else is going to join the show as we go on, but for now, it's the brothers, Mari, Matt, myself. We're going to be running the show. Matt, how you been, man? It's been a while since you've been on the show. You good? You look happy. I'm happy. Listen, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. I'll tell you that now.
Listen, massively, yeah. There's a sense of relief, but also relief that the season's finished as well. So, yeah, over the moon. And good. Listen, there's obviously hugely contrasting opinions on the season and Levy, the fans. But for me, I'm just going to say we've hit a certain period of the fan base, which is I just feel that if one group says up, the other group will say down. If another group says left, the other group will say right. I just want to focus on the season's finished. We are back in the Champions League. We've won one of the biggest trophies that you can win. And I'm just looking forward to the madness of the transfer window. But yeah, I'm happy still. Very happy.
Maury, how you doing, man? You happy as well? Or where are you at? Where's Maury at? How you doing? I mean, today's game, we will discuss it. I mean, I went to the game and it was back to normal, really.
Well, as you can see, the stream that night we won. I was a bit tipsy. No, I was drunk for good reasons. Celebrating, and the hangover officially was over today. You know, my celebration was 3 or 4 days. You know, I'm gonna celebrate. I'm actually maybe a shameless plug, but I'm really excited about getting these. Look at that sweet jersey. It's a kit that says Europa League champions, and so I'm ordering them, and so hopefully it will come in timely fashion, 2 or 3 weeks. I could flaunt it, you know. Like Matt says, it is a major trophy for me. There's like a couple of tiers, of course, Champions League, the league, and Champions League. Then I put Europa and FA, and then the League Cup and maybe Conference on the 3rd tier. But this is still a major championship. Don't let anybody lessen it. Real Madrid has won this 3 times. Inter Milan has won it 3 times. Juventus has won this. Chelsea has won this. So it's a major trophy. So don't let anybody poo-poo it. So I'm excited about that. Like Matt, there's a lot of Discord. We'll probably talk more about it tomorrow. Will be an echo chamber tomorrow, because both of you know what I stand on. Like I said, thank you, Ange. Thank you for the trophy or whatsoever. But now this is the time, right? Big clubs. to evaluate what do we want going into the next season and how it's going to go. So right now, I'm in that mode of, okay, what we're going to do for the next season. And so I know we're going to talk about that because the other teams are already making their moves. Works to Liverpool, Furpong to Liverpool, Chelsea's making their moves and stuff like that. And so we need to find out what direction that we're going. Sounds weird, after the trophy, but what direction we're going to go. So we'll get into that.
We'll get into it. Very quickly, I need to address the gooner in the house, TJ Warren, who says Mickey Mouse competition and worst European League field in the history of the competition. Hold on. If that's what you truly think, then why are you going on all the Arsenal meltdown streams with Lee Gunner and the rest of the Arsenal community? Get your ass off those meltdown streams if you're chatting the truth, which we know you're not. You tried to cook. Your omelette is raw, my friend. Your omelette is raw. You can't cook us because you ain't won nada. But listen, I like it. Arteta, phase 6. You're going in the right direction. Keep it going. Up the Arsenal. Do you know, the Arsenal tears this week have been sensational. Literally amazing. I love it. We're not bothered. We're not fussed. But we're going to go on every Arsenal meltdown stream. What's wrong with Arsenal? Why are Tottenham winning? It's great.
League judges. I mean, all of them. And
finished.
The
goons are cooked. Scott M agrees. Of course, Scott M agrees. Scott M's never happy. Never, ever happy. Unless we win, I don't know, the treble, which is never going to happen ever. Look, boys, today's game, I went to the game, obviously. We went today for the post-match party, walking around the pitch with the trophy, that thing Arsenal don't win trophy. And the thing that our Man United fans told us, heritage DNA, we win finals, that thing Man United fans talked to us about. We went for the post-match and the pre-match. So before the game, I got to the stadium. There was a great atmosphere. There was a lot of banter going on, lots more singing than normal, a lot of fans drinking and socialising. You could tell we were there for the end of season celebration. And then at the end of the game, the trophy came round and everyone was partying and whatnot. Even at 4-1 down, the whole stadium stood up and started singing. That never happens. 4-1 down, everyone leaves, right? But everyone knew this game was a write-off. So, and anyone that tries to make out that this game means anything or it had any significance is either clickbaiting, miserable, or there's something wrong with them. Today's game meant nothing. It meant fuck all. The whole season ended up being on that Europa Cup. We did a show a couple of weeks ago called Boom or Bust. If we don't win it, the whole thing's broken. The club's finished. Game over. Basically the exact position Man United are in now. But we said if we win it, and I said we're not going to win it. I said all season long, Spurs aren't winning shit. But if we win it, it saves the season, Champions League football, Champions League money, and a trophy in the cabinet. And we did it. We won it. Whatever anyone says, we won that trophy. It's ours. We're back in the Champions League. We got the money. We got a trophy in our cabinet. So, look, what do you make of today's game? Because for me, I didn't give a shit, guys. Normally when we lose, I come on the stream, the intro video, Ange Postecoglou out or Levy out. I didn't do it today because I knew today's game was insignificant because it all hinged on that Europa Cup game. And we got off to an all right start, and then we looked knackered, we looked disjointed, the usual kind of performance we expect from Spurs in the league. A couple of players were rested, a couple of players were injured, so they didn't play. What did you make of today's game? Because for me, I keep it real. I always say how I feel it, and if I change my views, I'll change my views, and if I get cooked for it, I don't care. But today,
I'll be honest.
No one in that stadium, guys, nobody in that stadium gave a shit about that game. I'm telling you now, because I saw the way we kept singing everyone just wanted to see the trophy being paraded at the end and to have a bit of a sing-along. But what did you make of it? Because the season, our league campaign ended about 2 months ago.
As disgusting the game was, and in the league, I mean, it is what it is. Hearing the fans sing, we could have lost 7-0. They don't care. So for me, I'm like, okay. Other than, gosh, we are the first, and I posted, we are the first top flight team to lose 22 games and not get regulated. So we broke a record there. If you're proud of that record, and some other records we have broken, most losses whatsoever. So I'll say this, knowing that we didn't care about the game. The only thing I'm gonna say is, because knowing Daniel Levy and how the board goes about things, right? And people are saying, if you finish 13th or 14th, there's a difference of 7 to 8 to 9 mil. Okay. When we go into these negotiations where we are short $1 million or 2 or 3 million, right? No one may care today. I totally understand. But when July comes around, we were 3 or 4 million short in valuation and try to get Eze or whatsoever, and we lose a deal. You're going to come back to all those losses that we have in the league. Like finishing 17th, I get it. You saw me drunk here, celebrate the trophy, great. But those precious dollars mean a lot to a certain person who I still believe has control over transfers, as Daniel Levy. So people can not care about that. Hey, put my hands up, okay. But my only thing is, and you're going to hear me say this a lot, I don't want to hear no complaints, but we were 1 or 2 million short of getting this player because Daniel Levy didn't want to fork it over, because that money from where we finished in the Premier League made the difference. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, I do agree. No one cared. Everybody celebrated. The trophy was walking around the stadium. It was a beautiful sight to see. Everybody's happy and whatsoever. But I'm just saying that some things have repercussions later on. That's all I'm saying.
Mari, we're going to come back to that because you and I are going to disagree on this, which is fine because that's what it's all about. It's about having our own views.
Yeah.
I want to hear from Matt. Matt, where are you with this, Matt? I mean, did you care about today's game? Was it a big deal for you, or do you care that? Look, for me, what's the difference between 21 and 22 losses? What's the difference? Where are you at with it? Because a lot of Spurs fans, they are bothered by today's game.
Look, I always want to see Spurs win. I always want to see Spurs play good football. The reality is that is not always the case. I think the performance, especially second half, was poor. There might be some contributing factors, as in lack of sleep and alcohol. However, this kind of puts a little bit of a dampener on some of the fans who have probably, after 22, 21, 23 defeats or whatever, thinking this guy's got to go. For me, I solely am focusing on the fact that with all the deficiencies in the squad, with all the deficiencies with Ange, we have still won a European trophy and we have an opportunity. I'm not sure that's going to be acted on, but we have an opportunity to improve the squad and improve who we are as a club in this transfer window. But history shows that we've finished fourth before, and we've not made the correct signings. We've not changed the wage structure to enable us to get the players that are going to make a difference. And we can all probably sit on this show and each of us list half a dozen to a dozen players under Levy's watch that we've missed out on for numerous reasons. So it's interesting. I've watched some shows and some streams, and the opinions kind of flit in and flit out, but I don't see much detailed analysis of Levy and his lack of the mottos to dare is to do, and I just don't see Levy following that motto. So when we've got the opportunity to get players like Bruno Fernandes, when we've got the opportunity to get Aguero, Tevez, Grealish, we always seem to miss out. This isn't one season. This isn't 2 seasons. This is 20 plus years of we never seem to get the players that we need. Yep. So it'll be interesting after this Champions League qualification, what Levy does. You know, if Levy follows pattern, we'll wait till August the 31st or September the 1st, whatever the last transfer deadline day. But the season started August the 8th or 9th. So we've probably played 4 or 5 matches before we've made the necessary signings that we need. So yeah, I don't hear many people highlight that when we're assessing Tottenham. And Angie's not blameless, not at all. He's made a lot of mistakes. But I'm focusing on Champions League, and let's see what happens, because that squad needs open heart surgery.
Yep.
Hello, Iggy.
Big up.
Before I bring in Iggy and Scott, very quickly, Matt, thank you. Sorry, not Matt, beg your pardon. William, big up for being a channel member 25 months. A user, everyone's hangover cure this afternoon. LOL. Another one from a user. I do not want to see this garbage again next season. And Designated Hotspur says, big up Stelios. 60,000 fans chanting his name. He's talking about Ange Postecoglou. Next show, send me the link. I will jump on. No worries. We've also got Pipes who's joining us. Some angry fans because Stelios has rattled them without even trying. Big up, Pipes. How you doing? Right, let me come to Iggy. Then we'll go to Scott and to Pipes. I've got a feeling this show's going to get a little bit lively now, but we're not echo chamber as some people make it out to be. Iggy, listen, where are you at with today's game? For me, I didn't give a damn. It was a write-off. I only turned up for parade number 7. Look, it was we did all right. Then we did what we always do: collapse, conceded lots of stupid goals. We got battered 4-1 at home. It felt like we were on holiday, but at the same time, we're kind of used to this in the league. What did you make of today? Do you even care? I guess.
Well, it's the first stream that we've had since we won the European League, the Europa League trophy. So. Champions, ole, ole, ole. Let me just say that first and foremost, because it's only been
champions again, ole, ole.
And I haven't been able to speak to anyone. So we're champions of Europa League. First trophy, 17 years. Do you know what? Listen, we can go deep into it. It's not a problem, right? And I think we're going to have days, weeks, and months to go over all of that stuff that you guys have gone into. But right now, this moment, listen, if you look at it, the game per se, for losing 4-1, listen, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. Of course it isn't. But do you know what? I was at the parade. You guys were at the parade, all right? And I'm telling you now, man, I was speaking to my son, first trophy that he's seen in his lifetime at Spurs. I was made up for him even more so. And on that Friday parade, I looked at my son and I said, mate, we're not turning up at this game. Everyone looked absolutely hammered. The players looked hammered, like Romero, even Sonny didn't look himself. There was so many. I'm just thinking, these guys had just started a parade, and this is going to go late into the night, into Saturday. There's no two ways about that. And I knew that we weren't going to be in the right way for this game, right? And this is before knowing today's result. So I thought to myself, honestly, I didn't expect as many players into that first starting lineup today, that upon seeing that, I didn't think many of them were going to play. I even said it in one of my videos. I said, I think it's going to be like a half and half sort of change. I expected more like the Mikey Moores, the Archie Gray. I expected a lot of them to be playing today. So in the game itself, you're right, still, it wasn't really party. Everyone was in party mode and stuff like that. And I kind of get it, because it's been such a long time to let the game consuming in a day that's supposed to be a party atmosphere would have been really silly, in my opinion, okay? Of course, there's no pleasure in losing 4-1, but in the grand scheme of things, in today's game, last game of the season, it really, it shouldn't overshadow the achievement done on a Wednesday night. Having said all of that, I don't want to take away I don't want to take away what my man's saying about open heart surgery and all of that. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. And I read earlier on Daniel Levy's statement, and it was a great listen for a chairman. That was a great statement. I have to say that I've never been his biggest fan. That was a great statement. But with statements follow actions, and I will take that statement for what it is. I'm not getting carried away with it. Great speech. But now we've got to move on to the actions. And if he can back the actions with what he wrote in a statement today, then Iggy is for changing. Iggy is for changing. I'm not that stupid. I'm not that stubborn that I can't change. But I need to see things that I haven't seen in a long, long time for me to change. But like I said, there is weeks and days, weeks and months that we can get into this. The teams needs beefing it up now, because we're going up a competition now as well, guys. We're going from Europa to Champions League, where it's a different kettle of fish. If you're amongst the big boys, which is where we strive, to be. We got a European Super Cup final to play against Champions League. A big opportunity to add another trophy. Incredibly, we've just got one, and we can consider that we got another one up for grabs. Okay, against the Champions League winners, it'll be PSG or Inter. You want to present yourself there competing, not to get absolutely hammered, which is what would happen, because the level of the opposition is far greater than the ones that we played in the last semi-final and the final. So, listen, I just hope, this is what I hope, this is my conclusion to this opening, what I'm saying, statement, if you like. My conclusion is this. I hope what happened Wednesday night, taking what happened with Brighton today aside for 1 second, what happened on Wednesday night with the players, with the fans, and with the owners, that they've got a little taste, and the parade and all of that, they've got to look around, because if you look at it from a fan point of view, it was an absolute dream to see Spurs win. This is what we've always said, always wanted. All right, it doesn't matter how old or young you are, you wanted Spurs to win a trophy. Secondly, for the guys that care about money and the businessmen and businesswomen in that club, look at this situation and thinking, would have opened their eyes, seen the place, seen the amount of fans really, really starved of it and wanted it. How many fans, just how big of a fan base Tottenham was, to visibly see it all, guys, honestly, and the parade in the world as well as Bilbao, should have been an opening. It's like, you know what? You can combine making money with winning, and I think that's the ideal scenario. You shouldn't prioritize winning and getting into debt, and it shouldn't be prioritizing making money without succeeding on the pitch. You can actually combine the both, make money, get Champions League money, and winning trophies. If nothing else, I hope today was an eye opener for that we can actually combine the two things and everybody can be happy about it. We ain't always going to win every season, of course. That's a given. But to be competing for the best stuff is all we can ask for. Be it domestic cup, a European cup, a league, a Carabao, or FA Cup. That's all we've ever asked, guys. That's all we've ever asked. To be in a situation where we compete, be financially stable as a club moving forward, and just be what we should be, man. That in my opinion, and I hope that's been an eye opener for everybody involved of just how much success
Iggy,
we can have on and off the field if we actually do this.
Iggy, at the parade, and then I want to bring Scott in at the parade. I looked behind the stage, and there was like a corporate section. Daniel Levy, his son, Donegal, and the directors, they were all sitting there away from it, and they let the players, the coach, the manager, they let them get on with it. They never got involved. Yeah, rightly so. And I looked around, and I said to myself, if that chairman who's now looking at this, if he can't see what this does to the club, if he can't see what this has done to the fans, if he can't see what it's done for the players,
he never will.
Right? If the penny doesn't drop now, it never ever fucking will. It will never. And we go full throttle with the protests until everyone's sick of everyone, right? But that statement kind of suggests that he gets it. However, I agree with you. Statements are like toilet paper. They're shit unless you act on it. So we'll see what's going to happen this summer. I think the transfer window will tell us. But Scott, you miserable son of a gun, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing. I know everybody says how angry and upset I am. I mean,
because in the chat you sound so angry.
Well, we'll get into that aspect, but yeah, I'm doing good. Luckily for me, I've been following Spurs long enough and sports long enough that I don't let individual seasons and results affect my mood too much. I'm past that, so I'm able to stay happy and positive in my life, no matter what happens with Spurs, because I can't let them. I've been hurt too many times in the past to keep letting them hurt me. And my other sports teams, Mario will know that I'm a Lions fan, so I've been hurt many times with them.
Oh yeah,
I'm well used to it. But you asked a question about this game, Stel, and I was going to say, do I care that we lost this individual game in a vacuum? Not at all. But for me, the problem I have with this game is what it represents. And first, it shows again, it's another league game where fans don't care. It's another example that our fan base has stopped caring about losing in the Premier League. It doesn't matter how far off we fall. And sure, 21 or 22 might not matter, but the fact that fans don't even care that we're losing 21 or 22 games is what bothers me. The second thing that it shows me, again, is I've heard so much about Ange has instilled this winning mindset in our team, in our players. We have a winning culture now. Well, it's another game we came up and showed nothing in. And if you look at other clubs, Palace just won their first trophy in 127 years. Who has a bigger reason to not give a crap? They won last week and they come out and perform today against a tough Liverpool team. That's a winning mentality. City wins everything. This year, they're out of everything fairly early on. Do they just give up? No, they fight and they keep winning and winning and winning. Because even though they've won everything, a true winning mentality means that there's not a single game that you ever play that doesn't matter. And so today we come up and our players use that excuse and our fans use that excuse. Oh, well, it doesn't matter because of this. And again, we're shown that we have no winning mentality at all. The idea that Ange has given us a winning mentality is complete nonsense. And the last and final thing that I'll say in regard to Ange is, what have we heard, especially the last couple of days? Well, we've seen now in Europe that Ange knows how to adapt. So if he comes back next year, he can adapt. Well, he came back in today's game, another chance. He's shown all year long that he can adapt in the Europa, supposedly, but he brings it back to the Premier League. And what do we see? The same garbage football that we've seen all year long. Another chance for Ange to show us that he can adapt. And he did absolutely nothing today to adapt at all. So we'll hear, maybe if he adapts over the summer, we can stick with him, even though for 2 years he's shown us he has no interest and tells us he doesn't want to adapt at all. So to me, that's why this game on its individually, who cares if we win the last game of the season, but it just represents everything that I see that's wrong with our club. Everything that when I hear just have patience, next year we can do this, why I have no belief that anything will happen there. And why my biggest issue with you, not you, Still. This sounds so like what you've been saying a lot, Still, is, and you've seen me say it, I'm sure, is you keep talking about us winning trophies, plural. Trophies, plural. We won one trophy, and the way we won that trophy and the way we act as a club, and especially the way
who won two? Who won two? Well, Scott, who won 2 trophies this year?
No, but you say trophies going. Let me finish, and it might make sense. Still, you say win trophies, plural. Is I don't see how we're set up to win any more trophies than this. This looks like it's going to be a complete fluke one-off because we're not set up to win. There's nothing we can take from this season and carry it forward into next season to win. We didn't win because of how our players played. We didn't win because Ange set us up doing this. We won because we had the easiest run in history to a European trophy, and that's not going to happen in the future. So my concern is, what are we going to do when we don't get to play Bodo Glimt, when we don't get to play AZ Alkmaar? Because what Ange has shown is when we have to face Liverpool or Villa or Fulham
you and I both said, Scott, no, hold on a moment. You're contradicting yourself. You and I both said we'd lose to Frankfurt, and we didn't. You and I both said Bodo will knock us out. They didn't. You and I both said Man United win the final. They didn't. So you're contradicting yourself now, because a lot of the things we said, the opposite happened.
But I didn't say that because of how good those teams were, Estelle. I said we could lose those games because Ange
you were wrong. My point is you were wrong. Scott, my point being is you were wrong. So was I. That's the point I'm making. And the other thing I want to say, and I'm not telling you
wrong about individual games.
I'm just pointing out how you and I were wrong. Right? I can admit it. The other thing I wanted to say is, you talk about winning mentality, winning your last game of the season. That's the winning mentality. Arsenal have been doing that for 5 years and won fuck all. What would you rather? What they're doing or what we did this year? Honestly.
I would rather what Liverpool's doing. I would rather what Newcastle.
I know. I asked you about Arsenal. Because Arsenal have a winning mentality. They try and win as many games as possible.
I don't think Arsenal does have a winning mentality.
You don't think Arsenal have a winning mentality?
A few years ago when they played us and lost, right?
Okay, but your example.
That's a bad.
Murray, one second. Your example of a winning mentality was, come back and show us you can win. And Ange didn't win today. Arsenal been knocked out of every competition, bottled the league, but they won today. So they came back today and showed they can win. So why is it for them, it's all right, but then for us, we don't have a winning mentality.
But I don't think they have a winning mentality.
Let me ask that question, Scott. I got your back on this one. If you follow the formula that Arsenal does, normally you cross the line. Now, what Arsenal is doing is usually an anomaly, I'm going to say, right? Strong foundation, right? It seems like they have strong foundation, strong structure. Maybe it is the manager that has not helped them cross the line. If you listen to Lee Gunner whatsoever, I agree. But usually when you have that, usually you are in a better chance of winning something. And so if you ask me going forward, though we got the trophy and things do happen, right? The stars align, everything happened. And I'm not complaining. I'm enjoying it. But usually when you have structure and you have these things, if you tell me going 5 years later, who am I more confident of getting silverware? I'm going to still say them compared to us. Because, like, yeah, we got the bling, and you cannot take it away, right? Kiss the ring. But the formula that they have usually says more that you're going to have success than the way that we've been doing it. If you're going to use Arsenal as the example.
But Mari, they won nothing. This is where I lose my mind with our own fan base now. They have won nothing. But you can't say it when they've won nothing. They've won nothing.
I understand, but the formula that they're using has won with other teams. The way they okay. This is good. Matthew said.
Mari,
this
is good. Mari, this is good. Mari, this is good. This is good. So why haven't they got it over the line?
I said the league gunners of the world are saying the manager is the only person.
I'm asking you, Mari. I'm asking you. Why do you think they haven't got it over the line?
I'm gonna say Arteta has made some mistakes.
So the manager, Morris. So the manager.
See the manager.
Okay,
Yeah.
our manager got it over the line.
Yeah,
Our manager got it over the line.
He got it over the line because we played space ball.
Yeah, and rightly so. The stars in line. He did what he did.
Who knocked Arsenal out of the Europa Cup when they were in it?
You know
Who
what I'm
knocked them
saying?
out? Go look at the teams that knocked Arsenal out of the Europa
Why
Cup.
are we using
And I agree with you.
Arsenal?
And that's why I
what
said.
everybody wants to do.
And that's why I said Arteta. But I'm saying usually when you have that formula, right, minus Arsenal, you are going to win. And like a perfect example I was going to use tomorrow is Di Matteo, right? He was able to cross over the line and win an FA Cup and a Champions League.
Di Matteo had 18 world-class players.
But he still won it. He still crossed the line.
Yeah, I think most managers with that with Drogba, Lampard, John Terry, Carvalho.
Can I interject
Really?
real quick?
Don't know.
Can I interject because
Don't know.
all I'm going to say is regarding that Chelsea team, right? And then we'll bring it back to Tottenham. Regarding that Chelsea team, you're right. They had world-class players. The massive problems they were having was with Andrew Villas-Boas that season. There was a lot of internal problems and there was a lot of disagreement amongst them, which is why they were losing as many times as they were. Di Matteo was a very popular figure within the dressing room. So once that happened, he got everyone on board and they stuck to a plan that they were going to foresee for the end of the season, which is why they went for that Champions League, because they were a bit out of the Premier League and they just put all the focus on that. The team was always good enough, guys. And it all comes down to is the management and the relationship with the manager and players.
So
when you've got a lot of egos, you've got to get them over the line. Secondly, with Arsenal, I think personally, from what I've seen from Arsenal, Arteta has taken them as far as they can. And also, if they'd recognised the issue that they had in the team, which is not having a number 9 in January, and brought in a proper striker like Osimhen, Gyökeres, and whoever else that would have gotten the goals. The other end, if they got shitloads of goals up front, and at the same time stopping them going in at the other end, which is what they were doing really well for large parts of the season, they would have, in my opinion, they would have had a team strong enough to get over the line. But this manager, I still believe, has taken them as far as can. Now they just need to get the next manager that can take them a step up, and they're not far away from that if they recognise it and act on it accordingly. But fuck them, I don't give a shit about them. With us, all right, with us guys, what would have? All right, let me just say this, because a lot of people would be pissed off about losing 4-1 today, and I get that. If you look at it in isolation, I completely and utterly get it. But for me, after what I saw Wednesday, I didn't need to see the Brighton game to know that we had issues. 21 defeats before that final. So we got a lot of problems in the league, but we need to rectify that. But I don't wait for Brighton to really get my. I've been past that stage with the amount of shit I've seen this season. We all have, with no fairness. So for me, there are clear and obvious problems that need to be sorted out in terms of domestically. We need to do a lot better than what we have. 1 win in 12, 10 defeats at home. 22 defeats out of 38. Come on, man. We know that. But I don't need to
Iggy, if we win trophies, who cares?
What did we say in this channel? We will take finishing 17th, and I'll remind everyone, because I've said it, and I know you guys have said it. We will take 7 at the cost of winning a trophy, bringing a trophy or seeing a trophy at White Hart Lane. We will take finishing 17th and winning a trophy. This season, that's exactly what's happened. We've got a trophy and we finished 17. Inject that shit, whether you like it or not, for this season, and say, do you know
Inject it.
Listen, we finished 17, won a trophy.
Murray, inject it.
Be happy with the fact that you won a trophy, because we finished 4th, we finished 5th, we finished 6th, and did this shit. No trophies, nothing. It's not a parade finishing 2nd. So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that this is all be all in the, but we all said at the cost of winning the trophy, we'll take 17th, and that's exactly what's happening.
We didn't all say it though, Iggy.
Why do we have to take 17th though? Sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm not saying we got to take. I'm going to put me in it, right? I said
to
win a trophy, I'd be willing to finish 17th. I'd be willing just for that trophy. I don't say I want to finish 17th. I said at the cost, if it means finishing 17th and getting a trophy, I would have taken it all day long. I think we all would have, because we've been so.
This is the problem. Sorry to cut you, Iggy, but this is the problem I have with our fan base. And
why?
we are the only club. We are the only club out of the big six that have these discussions about we'll take 17 to win the trophy. A big club should.
Would you have taken 17th and win a trophy at the beginning of the season? Someone said that to you. Would you?
Yeah,
No.
Probably. But the fact of the matter is,
that's my point.
What
is that?
No, the point is though, do I expect it? Do I set that as a demand that we should sacrifice the league? We should lose 22 games.
No, that's not what I'm saying, though. Pipes, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that because I was bored. Listen, we got Champions League spot for about 6-7 seasons on the trot, and we did do shit with it every time. We didn't do absolutely anything. We was getting the money, but we weren't doing nothing. And we went. So what I'm saying is, because I was so deprived and starved of winning, having seen a trophy at White Hart Lane, and I'll be honest with you, Pipes, I didn't know when we was going to see a trophy at White Hart Lane, because I didn't see nothing in place that made me think for 1 minute, apart from that 6 months, the first 6 months that Conte was in charge, was the only time, and the boys know this, it's the only time that I felt, oh shit, he's just come in. We were fucking relegation form, and he's brought us to Champions League. Maybe now with Conte, we're on to something, because I felt it, man. I'm telling you, that 6 months, I felt something happen at the club. I thought, you know what, I'm on board. And then the shit show that followed, I thought, you know what, it ain't never going to happen, man. I'm going to die not seeing Spurs winning another trophy. I said that to myself. I don't think my son, who's 15, is ever going to see a trophy. So what I'm saying is, at the cost, just to conclude, mate, at the cost of seeing that trophy coming to White Hart Lane, I'll be willing to take 17th, but at the cost of winning the trophy. That's not to say that I'm going to be winning now, today, now that I've got the trophy, that I want to see that happening year after year after year, because there's no way forward. We can't finish 17th. We can't finish above the relegation zone. We can't show relegation form. That's not what I've signed. I don't want that for my team. Of course I don't. But now that we've got a taste, and that's what I was saying earlier, we got the taste of that. The financial people will be happy because we've got Champions League football. But it's come, and you can combine the two together, keeping the fans happy and the team happy by winning the trophy, or at least challenging for the trophy, but also making money for the club. Why can't they combine the two? That would be the most ideal scenario for me, is to put the two together and say, do you know what? We can make more money by having a successful team, or a team that challenges, than one that doesn't challenge for fuck all.
But we've always known this, and yet we have a chairman who refuses to acknowledge this, and who refuses to speculate, to accumulate. He's always been about building almost like generational wealth for himself and his partners.
Guys, we've won a European trophy, right?
Still said it right. That if it doesn't open his mind, if it doesn't open his eyes, still said it perfectly. If now, upon seeing what he's seen today and the last few days, if that doesn't open his mind up a little bit to say, do you know what, I can make shitloads of money more by keeping
and
this.
That's why.
Can any one of you on this panel say with confidence that this chairman, though, the penny will drop with this chairman?
Not yet, no. Because what I saw in
the statement today, I did say what I said Friday
today was beautiful words, great statement for a chairman. But
to be honest with you, Iggy, I saw a statement that said absolutely nothing. To be quite honest with you, I mean, it was the usual mealy mouth end of year leave your address, and he's basically said nothing, not even in terms of investment in the squad to try and build on this success.
Cool, Pipes. If that's the case, then
nothing.
I was waiting to say this tomorrow.
All season. I'll be at the protests when it comes down to it, and I'm telling you now, that's what's gonna. If we are taking this win in the in the Euro Champions League, in the Europa League, as a one-off, or as one of those things where it just happened, and next year we'll be back to the normal service regime. Guess what? Iggy will resume normal service like we did this season. Simple as that. I won't be going to the games. I'll be in a protest. I'll be doing all of that.
And I said what I said
My
Friday.
standing point doesn't change. But what I'm saying right now, I think what's happening with a lot of fans is that they're on this high, and I get it, man. Like I said, I don't understand it. 17 years is a long time, man. And I get why they're thinking, why are you not having these discussions right now? We just won a trophy.
Because our fan base is clapped. They don't know what they want. This fan base doesn't know what it wants. It doesn't know what it wants.
And that's why I said what I said on Friday, and I was waiting to say tomorrow.
This fan base thinks we're Man City.
For me,
no, they just don't think we're Wigan.
For me, officially, going by everybody's standards, right? And the last couple of weeks, even before the game and after, we are a cup team. Everybody, I cried. The beautiful video, Iggy with his son, that was beautiful. The parade, beautiful. That's why, for me, currently, I am Levy neutral. The reason why is he hit the objective. We are a cup team. For me, I want more. But I'm just looking at the whole surrounding. I'm seeing what everybody's reaction, which rightly so, but
right.
But it's situation. But listen,
guys.
Would winning against Brighton today really have changed your point, the tone of the stream tonight, or how everyone's pissed off?
No.
I don't understand because it seems to be in isolation. The defeat today has really set everyone off, and I'm thinking, would winning today have changed people's mind?
It was set off the day after the cup final. They were set off the day after the cup final.
It has nothing to do with that. I'm just saying right now, and you know how much I dislike Levy and Joe Lewis, Tavistock, Enoch, whatsoever. But right now, I can't say anything to these guys because number one, they brought in a cup, right? We're a cup team, a European cup, right? They brought in a European cup. Everybody's happy. Everybody and their mama is happy. So what do I say now? If I'm walking around protesting, I could talk about the 27 years. It's atrocious. But like Janet Jackson, I said on Friday, what have you done for me lately? Check. And so for me, if I know what I want, but I also know what others in the fan base want, so I can't argue the thing. So that's why right now, currently, I'm leaving neutral. I'm leaving neutral because I can't say shit because he said the objective, and everybody is happy. So
I just can't believe, right, that we wait 17 years for a trophy. Redknapp fails, Poch fails, Conte fails, Mourinho fails, AVB fails. Every motherfucker comes to this club and fails. This guy does the one thing they couldn't, and the day after the final, full on Ange in debates. This is why we will never be what we think we should be, because we can't celebrate winning a trophy properly. We can't ever be happy. And no matter what we do as a fan base, there's always something to fucking make it miserable. I've been miserable for 10 years supporting this club. Sorry, beg your pardon. For 5 years, since Poch left, I've been miserable, hating Tottenham, hating fans, hating YouTube, so much I've disliked. And suddenly I feel good. I feel a bit happy. I'm like, do you know what? Fucking yeah, man. I've enjoyed it. I've loved this week. I've loved it. But we still find a way to implode from within. We can't do anything at this club. You know what? I asked this question on Sav's channel and Dan's channel. I asked this question. I said,
what? Hang on. Just give me a bit of context. What's happened for you to take, like you said, you've been the happiest Spurs fan you've been in the last 5 years. What's happened since Bilbao till now that's made you feel like that? What's happened?
Our fan base, YouTube, podcast is fucking toxic again. I go on Sav's channel. We're all up.
But at the end of the day, man, go on. Sorry, go on. Say this.
Iggy, look, let me paint a picture. I was gutted when Poch left because I really wanted him to be backed for that rebuild. right? Okay, I'm just saying about what I think, how I feel. Then Mourinho came. I thought, right, I'll get behind Mourinho because he's a winner. And then we fucking sack him before the final, and our fan base did nothing about it. And that's when I began to dislike sections of the fan base, and I really began to hate Levy. Then we bring in Operation Nuno, which was a disaster. Then we bring in Conte. What a shit show. And our fans all turned against him. By the way, congratulations, Scudetto. Without Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia, McTominay in centre midfield, one Scudetto, right? Serie A.
McTominay, number 10. The best player of the year.
Our fans hated him because he plays pragmatic football. Everything that happened, transfers, the manager merry-go-round, the football directors, everything, I thought, this club is shit. It's toxic. I hate it. And I was very vocal about it. I've been very, very vocal about it. I've been going to all the protests because I've had enough. This year, I've hated it more than ever before because we've been awful in the league. We've been shit performances. We've wasted money on certain players. I still think Levy is involved in the transfer meddling, but Ange signed off on it, so he has to get the blame. And we've been arguing every week, and a couple of YouTube channels have been really nasty this year, really nasty. And I thought, to hell with all of this. At the end of the season, the business end, when it matters, we are one of a few clubs that lifted silverware. We did it. We finally did it when all the others couldn't. And you know what? I fell in love with my club again. Honestly, Bilbao, anyone who went to Bilbao in the chat, you will know, we fell in love with the club again. And the experience there, the way we took it to the Man United fans, the way we silenced the Arsenal fans, shut those Woolwich Wanderers, those Woolwich wankers up. And then I come back to England, and the next day, the parade, I see families, grandparents, kids, mums, dads, emotions, tears, youngsters, people who are aged 8, 9, 10, up to the age of 21, 22, 23, who've never experienced Tottenham winning a trophy. All of them out there, they couldn't believe it. They didn't know even how to express themselves. They were overcome with joy. 300,000 fans. And I thought, I fucking love my club again. I fucking love this club again. Yes. And what do? We have a full-blown war about the manager. Fuck me, I give up.
Here's my question for Sal. So here's the important question, the elephant in the room. Are you prepared to pump the brakes next season on Daniel Levy? Are you able to pump the brakes? Because he has not fired the coach that delivered the trophy. He under his tenure, yes, he fucked up the last 25 years, but they delivered. They brought in the cup. It looks like he's not going to get rid of this manager. He's keeping it. He's keeping it on. Are you prepared to pump the brakes on Levy next season?
I'm Levy out until he starts behaving like a big chairman in the transfer window and stops this mediocrity of Tells and Werners and Chicken Royales and Nkudus and NGs. Under every manager, the same shit happens. When that stops, then I'll part the brakes on him.
You're the happiest that you've been. You're the happiest that you've been.
Murray, I'm the happiest I've been now. But 2 trophies in 25 years, unacceptable. If we go on a run now and we build something in 2019, let me finish. In 2019, when we lost that Champions League, we had a strong team. We were in a position of strength. We had a top manager. That was a time to say, right, go and sign 3 top players and let's cook. Just like Liverpool did when they signed Alisson and Van Dijk. What did we fucking do? Sessegnon, Lo Celso. Oh my God, man. Of course it went to shit. Now we've got a group of players that are average, who have won a European trophy, a manager who has got the buy-in from the players, maybe not all the fans. Now, whether it's with Ange or Glasner or another manager, frankly, I don't care. But if Daniel Levy now doesn't attack from a position of strength and makes the same mistakes in 2019, I'm full-blown protests every day, you name it. But I'm going to wait and see what happens in this transfer window. History tells us this transfer window is going to be shit. History tells us this transfer window is going to be a disaster. But history also told us we don't win trophies. History also told us we'll bottle it against Man United. History also told us that this manager would be sacked during the season. Maybe history's changing. I don't know. I'm being honest now. I don't know. Listen, guys. Listen to my words.
That's not what history.
So you want more than a domestic.
Scott, you're not listening.
I am
100%. I want more. 100%. Because finishing third, Mari, finishing third isn't respect or high standards. Winning trophies and high standards. Well, there's a lot of Spurs fans.
So when it comes back to Ange, right? For those who say I want more, meaning a couple weeks ago, everybody was against me. I said I want to win the Premier League. I want the best manager for us to be able to win the Premier League and the Champions League. You guys laughed at me and said we are a cup team. We are a cup team. And I'm like, okay, if we're just a cup team, right? Europa, FA Cup, and Carabao. That's the only standard that we have.
A manager ain't going to win the Premier League or the Champions League, Mari. A manager can't do that alone. You need top players. To win the big boy trophies, you need top players, Mari. To win the Premier League and the Champions League, you need the big boy players. That's down to the board. That's down to the recruitment officer in the board.
Our fans don't want that, though.
Any way you look at it, you ain't winning no Champions League and you ain't winning no Premier League unless you sign the big boy players. That's not on any manager.
No, I get what you're saying, but our fan base is confused. See, I'm confused because, like I said, I want more. You know what I'm getting at is regarding of Ange. I believe, right, we in the prime position, right, to give Levy that chance. I just feel we don't have the right coach to get us to that next level. We don't have to. And that's what
this is the only coach that won a trophy, though, Maury. This is the only coach that won a trophy.
Yeah, but it covers up it's covering over the cracks. That you see, the thing about this fan base is that we're all giddy, we're all emotional, and I get it. Listen, I've been on the ceiling all week since Wednesday. I go to the parade on Friday with my daughter. I'm carrying her on my shoulders. She's bloody 18 years of age. Yeah, I will absolutely. I've been buzzing all week. But at the same time, I still know what needs to be done in regards of this manager. I cannot turn my face away from losing 21 league games. And I'm a little bit getting irritated.
What do you care? What do you care about the league when you win a trophy? What do you care? Tell me that.
Because we don't want to win one trophy only.
Stelios, you cannot say you want to be a big club and act like a big club if we're turning away.
A big club wins trophies. A big club wins trophies.
And they compete in the league, Stelios.
A big club wins trophies. No, a big club.
They do not finish 17th in order to win trophies.
In 10 years' time,
they do
no one gives a
not
shit after finish second. In 10 years' time,
in order to win trophies.
No, it's lies. Sorry,
we have to demand more. We have to demand more.
Everybody wants to be Wigan.
No, Wigan. No. See, that's stupid because Wigan got relegated. Spurs didn't get relegated.
One at a time, guys. One at a time. Otherwise,
this needs to be debunked. This needs to be debunked.
Go ahead.
Big clubs win trophies. Real Madrid are famous because they've won the most trophies in world football. The two biggest clubs in England are Liverpool and Man United because they've won the most trophies in England. Trophies make you big, not where you are in the league. If you don't come first, you've lost. Facts.
Trophies.
But you still compete in the league. How can you win the title unless you compete in the title?
Competing means nothing if you don't win it. If you don't win it, then who cares?
Agreed.
No one cares.
But at the same time, we cannot be saying we are happy to be finishing 17th in order to win silverware. What kind of mentality is that? What kind of mentality is that?
I'll repeat myself. Who cares where you finish if you win a trophy? Who cares?
People that want to win multiple.
You know what? I'm with Scotty. You see, this manager This manager has fostered this environment, and he said it himself since January, of bidding off the league. Yeah, he had a go at us fans last season, didn't he? When we wanted to lose to Man City. Do you all remember that?
He had a go at us this year as well.
Yeah, and I'll fast forward to this season. He's suddenly happy to bid off the league and say it doesn't matter. For the last God knows how many weeks now, the league hasn't mattered. And fans have been happy with us losing week in. I said it months ago that he will create an environment for this club and for the fans to accept losing every week. To me, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, but he had to win a trophy.
To win a cup.
He had to win a trophy,
bro. He won a trophy.
Okay. He's won the trophy this season.
It's not okay. It's the best thing anyone's done in 2 decades. It's not okay.
Moving forward. That's not the attitude. That's not the attitude.
Nobody's saying here that Ange Postecoglou is a great manager. Far from it. I'll tell you what I would do if I was in a position of power at Tottenham right now. He's won us a trophy that keeps the fans quiet for a little while. We've got Champions League football. If we can line up a manager of, say, I'm just going to throw a name out there, Jurgen Klopp or anyone alike, or if you had moved a bit earlier for Xabi Alonso or something along them lines, where they can use this position of power, the same way Levy has the opportunity right now to kick on and say, do you know what? We've got back into Champions League. We've won the Europa. The fans are going to be sweet now for the next few months. But you have to get rid of Postecoglou, knowing that you're getting a bad boy manager coming in to say, you know what? Now we're kicking on. Now that's going to be Paratic's call. People are underestimating the amount of power Paratic is going to have. He's going to be involved in who the next manager is going to be.
He's basically calling it. He's basically calling who the next manager is.
Postecoglou, or whether he gets someone else in, remains to be seen. Postecoglou, in my opinion, right now, until Paratic comes in, I don't know if he's safe right now. I'm 50-50 on this. I think winning the trophy has bought him some time, in my opinion. I think it has. And he also binning off the league, he took a massive gamble because if he didn't win in the second season like he said he would have been sacked by now. Today would have been his last game, 100%. So we're right now, I think, in my opinion, if I was the owner, I'm no one, but if I was one of the owners, I'd be like, you know what? We're back in the Champions League. We've won the silverware this season. We are going strong right now. This is buzzing. Imagine if I got a bad boy manager right now where the fans going, fucking hell, we got rid of Ange Postecoglou, but look who's just coming through the fucking door to take us to the next level. Then I can say, do you know what? Make the call. If you're going to get rid of Postecoglou right now, who's just won us silverware after 20 years, to go and get another manager that might make it, might not make it, by the same signings of bigger players that we've been getting year after year after year, and make a statement in the position of power, then we're back to square one.
Right, Iggy, and everyone else on the panel, we've got rid of managers who won a silverware before. Why is it suddenly this? Oh, it's this movable object that we can't sack Postecoglou because he won a silverware. We sacked George Graham who won a silverware. We sacked One Day Ramos who won a silverware.
And how did that work out? How did that work out? How did that work out?
Let's get one thing.
How did that work out for us?
We made wrong choices. That's not a reason for keeping this manager because it might not work out.
So you came on this show and you trust Daniel Levy. You trust Daniel Levy to make the right choice then?
There's no worse choice than Ange. There's no worse choice.
Ange won a trophy. Ange won a trophy
because of the draw that we had, not because of anything that he did.
You love Pochettino. You love Poch. I love Poch, but you really love him. He had the best team we've had in 20 years. He won nothing.
If Poch had this draw, he would have won it, and we would have been top 6.
Poch went out to low-level teams in Carabao Cups. What are you talking about?
Almost went out to Tamworth. Ange went out to Aston Villa playing with 4 midfielders in their back line in the FA
and Ange won the Europa Cup as well, though. Against the teams you said we would lose to.
Low-level teams. We're not doing that.
See, we're going around in circles, man. Scott, can I ask you a question? Right? I want to ask you a question, honest question, because I don't know what you what certain Spurs fans, should I say, want.
I can easily answer that.
Okay, tell me what you want as a Spurs fan. Realistically, what do you want?
I want us to win or at least compete and win multiple trophies. I don't want us to win one trophy in 2008, one trophy now, and be happy with it. That's what there's nothing that I've seen from this trophy win that makes me think we're going to go forward and win. And there's plenty of things from Ange Postecoglou, like every other time we've faced good teams in the Premier League, in the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup, that shows he doesn't know how to beat good teams. Going forward, we're not going to get another opportunity to face Bodo Glimt, Frankfurt, AZ Alkmaar, Ferencváros, right? We can all admit this is not going to happen again. So what I want is a club that has the quality to go up against those big teams and win and compete. And with Ange Postecoglou over the last 2 years, he's shown he can't do that. You keep saying, and I agree, winning a trophy, hooray. I want to win more than one trophy. And there's nothing that I've seen from this run that makes me believe that we can win more trophies going forward with Ange Postecoglou.
Okay, Scott.
Sorry, I have to run, but we'll have lots. I have to go because I have to go pick up my kids. I wish I could stay. I'll listen and try to be in the comments.
Scott, I want to say one quick thing, right? Fair play. I get what you want. No manager in the last 30 years, 40 years has done what you just asked for. No manager.
No, they haven't. And but I'm not arguing.
Right.
So it's a club thing.
Listen, man, I'm just saying, no manager at Spurs, for whatever reason, has not done what you want. None. So we need a manager to come in and do what no manager has done in 40 years. Jose couldn't do it. Conte couldn't do it. Poch couldn't do it. Redknapp couldn't do it. So you want us to get rid of Ange and bring in another manager after this guy's actually won a trophy to see if he can win 3 or 4 trophies back to back when no one's done it in 40 years.
Not back to back. Not back to back. Because I know Ange can't do it.
Okay, so which manager comes in and wins multiple trophies at this club when no one's done it in 40 years? Who is that?
I don't know, but I do know that there's better
managers.
But I do know there's better. I can guarantee you there are better managers who bring structure to our team so we can be.
But Scott wants multiple trophies. Who's going to come and do that at Tottenham?
Multiple trophies still? You're fine.
Yeah,
we're done now. We don't have to win for how long? 20, 40, 60 years?
I'm going by what you said. Scott, that's what you said. Tell me the manager that gives you what you want, because you're good at telling me what you want, but you can't tell me how to get there.
I can tell you how to get there.
Who do we hire?
Has to change. That's the difference. Levy has to change.
If Levy changes, oh my God. Give Ange better players.
But if you give Ange better players, he'll do nothing with it still. He can't.
Do you think this team's good? Do you think our current team's good?
What's that?
Do you think our current team is good?
Mediocre. I think I said they're about 6 to 8 in the league.
He won a trophy with a mediocre team. Give him a better team.
No, he won a trophy because we had played no good teams. Every time
you just said we're mediocre, though. You just said we're mediocre. Scott, you just said we're mediocre.
So we got a worse than mediocre draw, and we're able to beat worse teams.
Okay, so give him better players so we're a better team so we can beat the better teams.
But he's already shown that he can't do that. His system doesn't work.
Because the team's mediocre, like you said.
What's that?
You see?
Well,
but we're 17.
We won a trophy.
We're not mediocre.
No.
I'm putting your logic back on you, and you know what to say.
No, you aren't still.
This team, wait. This team
you don't know. You told me what you want, and you can't explain how to get there.
Listen. This team was good enough.
I did listen, and it made no sense.
Then the heat on Levy to approve the club, there shouldn't be heat on Levy. It was good enough to win the Europa. Brendan Johnson.
Murray, Levy's been here 25 years. Can you assess him for 25 years? No, it does, because Andrew's been here 2 years. You're comparing Andrew's been here 2 years to Levy, who's been here 25. How can you make that comparison?
Now. He's finally found gold.
That's like you comparing Harry Kane at Spurs for 10 years over another striker at Spurs for 2 years. How can you compare? You can't do that.
Well, he's finally got it, and he delivered. Right?
In 1 year in 25.
It's like saying
1 year in 25.
I'm just saying. I'm just
Kane.
No, the logic is you've got to compare 25 with 25.
Yeah,
You're comparing
Harry
apples
Kane
with pears.
was at the
He's
club
the
for 10
first
years.
chairman.
And
Lombardi,
Solanke in 1
he's
year has
the
won a
first
silverware.
chairman to win the Europa in
Does that
40
make him a
years.
better player?
Just like Edge.
Harry
Just
Kane
like
has been at a club 10 years, didn't win a trophy. Dominic Solanke, 1 season, 1 trophy. Is Solanke a better player than Kane?
He's a hero. He's a hero. He's done it. He's won a trophy.
So
We're
he's a
going
better
by
player.
the
He's a
same
better player.
logic.
So by
We're going
logic,
by
he's
the
a
same logic.
he's a
Solanke-
better
So
player
Mari,
than
Mari,
Harry Kane.
you want Solanke over Kane then?
You know what I want. You know. I'm just going by your logic.
Talk to me about,
I'm just going by your logic.
2 years.
I'm just going by your logic.
No, this is your logic. No, Iggy used your logic on you. He used your logic on you. My logic. My logic is very clear. My logic is you can't compare a chairman over 25 years to a manager for 2 years. You can't make
What
that
has
comparison.
Solanke done that Harry Kane hasn't done? Right?
Harry Kane won a trophy. Harry Kane won a trophy at Bayern Munich.
Okay. With Spurs.
No,
With Spurs.
Well, and wasn't his manager.
Delivered.
And wasn't his manager. What do you want me to say to you? What do you want me to say to you? What do you want me to say?
I will agree.
Listen, fine, Mari. No, do you know what? Fine. Levy's the best. He's fucking brilliant. Well done, Levy. 25 years, 2 trophies. What a chairman. Let's all give him a round of applause. Let's praise a manager that took 25 years to do what every other chairman in the history of Spurs did in 10 years. Well done. What a chairman we've got.
Sometimes it takes people 10 years to learn how to ride a bike.
18 managers, 8 football directors, 25 years, over £2 billion spent on transfers. What a chairman. Well done, Levy.
You know what? The biggest issue that we got
that's a Levy neutral, but you know.
The biggest issue we got in the fan base, right, is that
we don't know what we want again. We don't know what we want.
Well, we are sat here 4 days after winning the Europa League, 22 league defeats. Okay, we are here with because the fact we're split at the moment. It seems to be that we're split. I don't know. I'd have to look into it a bit more.
We are a fan base of flip-floppers.
You've got one manager that's delivered a trophy that hasn't been seen at Spurs in 17 years. And you got 22 league defeats where fans are saying, mate, thanks for the thing. And this is where I'm at. I'll happily say it. I'm at is 22 league defeats, but he's delivered us to Europa. I say, look, mate, you've been fantastic. Thank you for getting at the club where they should be in Champions League football. You've got a silverware. I'm a happy fan. But you know what, man? In the whole course of the season and the last 2 and a bit years that you've been in charge, mate, you ain't at the level. So I would say today is, Ange, thank you very much. We need to use, like I said, the power of strength is where we're at the moment. Both chairman and the club and players are in a situation where we've got champions, but also the players themselves saying, look, we're going in Champions League football next season. We look around and say, look, we won the Europa, yeah, we've done one here, but we ain't good enough to compete for Champions League football. We need to step up. And by stepping up, you need to step up with a manager who ain't, listen, if we think with this next level is going to be next season and he ain't at that level. So the best thing for me that can happen is part way with Ange, which people will be pissed off because he just delivered us a trophy. But if you then answer that with a bad boy manager and say, you know what, this is the guy that's going to bring us forward. We're going to provide them with the tools and we're going to kick on because this season and this year, and we've seen a lot since the Europa League, we need to be.
Iggy, you're right. Iggy, you're right. But the Spurs fans won't do it. They're too fucking sentimental.
We're going to combine success on the pitch with success off it. If you can combine the two, then you've got a winning situation. But you need to deliver the goods. You need to back up what you say in words, Mr. Levy, and get a manager and give him the tools he needs to kick on.
No, what's Levy got to back up in words? Yeah.
And 1 second, guys. 1 second. Stop. 1 second. Right. Let me do some super chats very quickly. Then I want to bring in Matt.
The statement what he wrote, he's got to back that up.
Iggy, I'm going to come to you in a second. Iggy, let me do these super chats because they're building up. Then I'll come to Matt because I know Matt hasn't spoken for ages. Then I'll come to Dan because he's just joined us. Big up, Dan, for joining us. A user says, Yeah, mate, no worries. We got our cup. I want us to fight for the Premier League now. Swanick says, fan entitlement is crazy. We ain't Manchester City or Liverpool Football Club. And Jason Whale, sorry, mate, what happened there? Big up, Jason. He says, Stelios, why have this chat if you don't want to look to the future? Who said I don't want to look to the future? We can enjoy the trophy win and still discuss how we don't want Ange. Chill. Right. The debate has become Ange in or out, which I didn't want because it's called the Brighton 4-1 Spurs lost show. Tomorrow's the big Ange debate, but it's just become that anyway. So I don't know what you don't want us to have this discussion then. Should I shut down the stream? I don't know. Fans don't know what they want.
It's going to happen on any show at the moment. Still, on any show you go on at the moment, or people do.
Yeah, but this is the disease, though. This is the disease, though. We win a trophy and we go to war. Matthew, let me bring you in, bro, and then Dan will come in and have his say as well. Matt, you've heard this back and forth. Where are you at with it, Matt? What's your thinking on this? And good luck, by the way.
I think I'm a little bit older than some of the people. I remember the '84 successful trophy, so I can actually remember Spurs winning Europa League. It's called UEFA back then in 1984. So I understand the desperation and the anxiety and the hunger to win. I get it, and I think Pipes asked a question earlier ago, which I kind of wanted to expand on, and I think the question I have, and I kind of want to share this with the panel and the chat is, with all these defeats and poor performances, why didn't Levy sack Ange? And I'm going to kind of start off with my theory on the possible answer, but I'm be interesting to hear, because it's passionate. You go on any YouTube channel, even on Talk Sport, Sky Sports, everyone's got a different opinion and people are bickering and so forth. I think Conte, the exit in Conte gave the Southampton away game, the 3-3, I think that damaged Levy mentally. And I think he's been a little bit cautious, a little bit wary of pulling the trigger like he used to quite frequently. And if you go back, Harry Redknapp was sacked after finishing 4th. Pochettino never finished lower than 5th in his 5.5 seasons. Yes, we were 14th when he was sacked, but I personally felt he had a little bit more credit in the bank at the time. But Levy sacked him. And almost what Iggy just mentioned a few sentences ago, if you want to replace Ange, be ready and make sure that the replacement name. So when Levy sacked Parch, he immediately announced Mourinho in the same afternoon, and Mourinho was through the door. When Jose comes through the door, for a lot of fans, they go serial winner. So I'm just curious, since 2019, if you look at the succession of managers that we've had and how quickly they've been exited, no manager league performance-wise has done as bad as Ange. But I don't know. I haven't heard anyone ask the question, why has Levy not sacked him? Because everyone's shouting and I get the passion and I love the passion. But I don't know. Pipes, what's your theory? Why Levy? Because he's never been shy in the past.
No.
He's never. Martignol got sacked at half-time. Why?
Well, it's quite simple, Matthew. At the end of the day, the Europa League was this manager's salvation. We all know that. Yeah. And as long as he stayed in this tournament, that gave him a stay of execution as far as his job. like I said earlier, the fact that he admitted that he literally binned off the league since January in order to concentrate on this competition, for me, is unacceptable. And at the end of the day, we have a fan base, as Dan was saying earlier, they're just too emotional, too, we think with our hearts and not with this. Yeah. Now, if we can all, like I said earlier, I've been giddy since Wednesday. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm still at the point, I can still reach a point of looking forward. Right. What do we do next? How's Leeds going to do? What's happening with the manager situation? Quite frankly, the manager situation, there's only one decision to make. Yeah. We cannot be looking away from the league form. And the issue I have with the league form is that this manager, he's managed to convince the fan base. Go on.
But what I'm saying is, with the league form that he's had, which has been bad.
Sorry, repeat that. I didn't hear you.
There's a delay. There's something going on here, man.
Yeah, Matthew, I
think he's got
didn't hear you, Matthew.
Matt, repeat what you said earlier on. The question, we didn't catch it. Went out of sync or something. Just delayed. Is Matt with us?
I think he's frozen.
Matt?
Yeah.
No, he's not frozen. I think he's lagged.
He wants to understand basically why did Levy not sack Ange and take such a gamble on waiting to see maybe if we win the Europa whilst we're going from 12th to 14th.
Okay.
You just
Let
answered
me
it.
give an answer to this one. Let me give an answer to this one.
No, Robert, no. Let Pipes answer it. Look, Dan, I'll come to you. I'm going to come to you.
Yeah.
Pipes.
Yeah.
Why?
As I said, because the Europa was the salvation.
Yeah, sorry.
And I think probably Matthew's a little bit, he may have been on the money in that Levy's probably mentally scarred.
Oh, can you hear me?
He remembers.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you now, yes.
Matt, listen, jump out. Matt, jump out, then come back in and resync, right? I'm going to kick you out. Jump back in because it needs to be resynced.
So do you know what though? But I hate Levy as much as anyone else, right? But the fact that he didn't get rid of him because he actually thought, let me see where this goes, and he's now been rewarded for that decision because the manager has brought in a Europa Cup. And if you jumped the gun, if you pulled the trigger like you normally would have done, we wouldn't have seen this happening. So is that not praise for Levy for
exactly
making that decision? I don't know, man. I hate
look at it this way. Looking at it this way,
in the end, because he brought a silverware, although we done shit in the league.
He's done what the fans asked him to do, basically. Yeah. He got the attacking manager, spent 400 million on him, stuck with him through thick and thin, and then got to the end and actually supported him for a final. Yeah. Right. The stage I go with this is where, for me, all this Levy out is bullshit. Every single bit of it at the moment for me, for a majority of fans that I'm speaking. And when I say fans, I mean fans in general that I'm seeing. People going on for years and years and years about how Levy is the problem. He's this at the club, he's that at the club. I'm one of the ones who agrees with it to an extent. But then Levy don't control what happens on the pitch and how many finals and semi-finals have we got to with Levy as the owner. We just haven't had the manager that can take us over the edge. This manager has basically taken us over on the edge on a trophy that fucking Ryan Mason could win here, yeah? The only one he'd have had probably a problem with is Frankfurt. We'd already cooked Man U 3 times this season. So let's not get this out of context in the idea of that he's done a brilliant job. He scrimped and fucking scraped his way through that, screwed the whole season up when we could have been goals up on Liverpool and then just gone out and out defence, hit and hope, basically. But no, didn't want to change nothing because he'd blown it before Christmas and blew it out. Yeah, everyone preaching at me all about how every game matters no matter what. But now we win a trophy, nah. That's all right, yeah? But everyone going on about Levy, about how he's got to do what is right for this club. He only does the business side. He only does that. Okay. Now people are asking him to keep a manager who has blatantly shown he's just not good enough for the Premier League through fucking morals. You've now contradicted yourself on everything. Everything about it. No. If you want this man to do what he's... Yeah, let me finish. No. I'm talking about Spurs fans in general. If you want to keep going on about that, you want him to do what is right for the club, then money and morals don't come into this, yeah? Morals don't come into this shit. And I feel a lot of Spurs fans, as all of a sudden, just because we've got a trophy, and I do mean just, because I've enjoyed the trophy, but I'm sorry, I ain't going to live on this for the next 10 years, 10 days. I'm already looking to the future on how to progress.
Exactly.
I don't just sit there and accept with what I've got. Okay, I've got my trophy. I accept it. No, sorry, I'm a greedy bastard. I want more. This is the chance to look at the future. And you, along with others, are saying...
We haven't had a chance to celebrate the bloody moment yet.
I've already celebrated it. If you ain't,
You
that's
can
up
still,
to you.
you can still celebrate.
Let me finish. Right.
Celebration's more than 2 days. Sorry, lads. It's more than 2 days. I've waited 17 years. I'm not celebrating for...
Right.
Who's done that?
I get that, yeah? But look, if you're going to go on at Levy about doing what is correct for the club, and then you have people who've been slating the manager, ripping the fucking shit out of him all season, and it's all Levy's fault because he employed him, now all of a sudden they're turning around and saying to Levy, well, Ange deserves another 6 months. Now, if we want to be morally correct in life, Ange deserves another 3 to 6 months, yeah? Because he got us a trophy we haven't got. Right. Bollocks. Life don't work like that in business or in sport when you get to the top. It's dog eat dog world. Now people are asking him to Levy do what is morally correct. Well, make your mind up, people, yeah? Do you actually want Levy to do what is right for this club? And grill him for it that he doesn't because he only does the business. But then all of a sudden it comes to the side where the morals take over, where it's like a few people on a fucking menopause might as well go change your tampons and that because the emotions have kicked into it all of a sudden. Oh, and we got to do what is morally correct and everything. You're now asking Levy to do what is morally correct and not what is right for the football club. If we want to go further, we blatantly know this manager is not good enough for the Premier League.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
We pretty much do. We're pretty sure of it. Well, no, you were saying it all season until we won a cup.
Until he proved me wrong. Yes, until he proved me wrong.
He did not prove you wrong in the league. Though. In the cup, he did. Yeah, Ryan Mason could have got that cup.
I don't care about the league. I care about trophies, Dan. I care about trophies.
Fine. I want to see trophies in life as well, but I don't want to see 17th place. That is unforgivable.
Who cares if you win a trophy?
Right, and if we go and win the FA Cup for the next, no. Take it back. We go and win the League Cup for the next couple of years, but finish 10th. Where's that going to get us? We're going to slip
more
further
in the cabinet. More trophies in the cabinet.
Like it or lump it, the club to be big and carry on, you need that Champions League. End of. No ifs, no buts. You can miss it one or two seasons.
So unless we win the Champions League, we
are big enough to be fighting for a top 6 place, at least the Europa, and an FA Cup or a League Cup.
We fought with Redknapp, we fought with Poch, we won nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's about trophies.
But if it's just about the trophies, then, like I said to you on my show the other day, let me ask a couple of these. I feel that so many people have just got sentimental with this. I can get why, but there is another reason to it. It's because it's got Champions League written at the fucking end of it. If it had done 17th, if he'd have gone 17, forget. It's a tier 2 European trophy. It's a big.
Mate, it's a big trophy. No. It's a big trophy.
Okay. Yeah. Right. But the League Cup is probably harder to win than the Europa Cup was this year.
Europa Cup bigger than the League Cup, Dan, all day long.
I didn't say otherwise. I just said the League Cup is probably harder
it is,
to win.
Because it sounds like you're trying to dismiss it.
But I'm telling you, the League Cup is probably harder to win than the Europa Cup this year. Yeah. Is anyone going to disagree with that? I don't know.
We got to the semi-final.
You know, and. If he would have won the League Cup and finished 17th, if he would have finished 17th and got in the league and won us the League Cup, how many people on here now are going to be justifying that he should stay for another season because he's got us the League Cup?
No.
I reckon most of the people would be on here saying, no, League Cup, fine, get it out. It is
so why don't English teams win the Europa every year? Why don't English teams win the Europa every year then?
What do you mean? Why don't you? Because everyone plays in it. Look how it's gone this season, though.
But it's easier. But it's easier. But then it's easier.
This season it was. Yes, it was this season because no Champions League teams came down.
But when we played Frankfurt, they were third in the German league when we played them.
Yeah, and we're still significantly ahead of Frankfurt.
We're 17th in the league.
Yeah. But as a club and the size and with the players we had, like you have said and everything, we should be doing significantly better because we have got a better team than 17th. And it's because the manager is
shit, but we're not because the manager's shit.
Exactly. But the team is
he beat the team third in Germany.
Yeah. And if you put it player for player, we've got a better team than that.
But we're not because the manager's shit. That's why we're 17th. On the one hand, you're saying this manager's shit was 17th, but we should beat the team that's good in Germany. But it's the manager that won it.
We're bigger than him. No, I get it. He won it, but it wasn't exactly hard, was it? The League Cup this season was probably harder to win than the Europa Cup.
So it's not hard. So it's easy to beat the team that's third in Germany.
So my point of it is, he has proven he is not good enough in the league. Yeah, I want both. I know we can't have a cup every year, whatever, but I don't want to go 17 years without a cup.
Manager?
I don't want to sit there.
Dan,
right?
What manager?
I'm telling you what I want.
I know, but I'm asking you, what manager has given you both?
Where at? Tottenham.
Well, yeah,
Tottenham. We've had fuck all. So yeah, I'm happy with a trophy, but I'm not satisfied.
See, and this is my point, Dan. Dan, this is my point. What you, Sava, and a few others want is to be challenging for the league and winning trophies. And
I don't think we're challenging for that league. I think we are at least good enough to challenge for a top 6 place and a trophy.
Dan, what you, Sava, and others keep telling me is that you want to challenge for the top 6 and win a trophy. And my response is this.
And I think we're big enough.
And my response is this. No manager at Spurs has ever done that. Never under this. Hold on. Hear me out. No manager has ever done that. They've either won a trophy or they've got top 4, top 6. They've not done both. So in order to do both, there's only one way we can realistically do it, because we've had the best managers, the Contes, we've had the Mourinhos. We had Prime Poch, who had a fantastic team. We had Harry Redknapp, who was a bad boy manager with a really good team. He couldn't do it. None of them could do it. So the reason we can't do it is the reason why we've never been top 6 and won a trophy, because the thing that you say not to be is the problem. Levy won't back it. He won't build a squad of 18 to 20 quality players.
Still, I'm sorry, mate. You've got no right to complain about Levy. You are asking Levy now.
Let me finish. He won't pay the wages to attract enough big boy players to this club. So what we end up is a mixture of some good, some average, some shit. Every manager has had that situation pretty much. So to get what you want and what Sava wants, Levy's the problem. Levy. So you can't come in and say now, this Levy out is bollocks.
Hang on a second.
Levy out is why you can't have what you want.
So then if
you want us to improve, then you've got to want Levy to do what is
then
right.
Levy out or Levy change.
Which is get us a bit better manager, but you, along with others, are now asking him to do what is.
But no manager's done what you want, Dan. Dan, no manager's done what you want, bro. No manager's done what you want.
How are we going to progress then through winning this and having a manager that we know is going to get his asshole done?
Levy needs to change, Dan.
Right, but you're not asking him.
But then you're telling me Levy out is bullshit.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, Levy doesn't have to.
I don't think you've got my point here.
I know Levy has to change.
I have got it. I think
you've got my point.
Levy doesn't have to
Levy
change.
is the problem.
Let me get my point. The problem.
He's hit every objective.
Levy.
Fans happy. Check. Trophy. European trophy. Check. He's hit all the objective. I agree. I want Levy out. But I can't say shit to Levy.
Maury, everyone who's been saying Levy out for so long.
I want the same energy, right? Since he is, in 40 years, the chairman that brought us to Europa League, just as Edge is the coach. So that same energy for Edge is the same energy for Levy. I feel that you can't have it one way or the other.
Bollocks, mate, to half of that now, because everyone's gone on that they want Daniel Levy to do what is the right thing for football, not for business, not for this, not for that. But now half the people have now turned. All of a sudden, it's like 80% and Jim when it was 80% and out over fucking 90 minutes.
I agree.
Probably. And do you know what the joke of it is?
It's not 90 minutes.
Let me finish. Over that game where we played in a way that
it's
even the majority of Spurs fans,
it's the whole season.
The majority of Spurs fans said they would rather see, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying the majority of Spurs fans going on, I don't want to see us play that way no matter what. I want to see us, if we lose, I'd rather lose 6-3 to a game to Liverpool to be winning it than scrimp and scrape a game 1-0. Now, half the ones on the side who preach about Spurs philosophy and that can shut the fuck up as well. Because they're all of a sudden not moaning about that we shut up shop for 2 or 3 games and played like that.
Yeah, that I agree with.
It changes when it changes. Now, the other point to it is if people are going to keep on going on at Levy to do what is correct for the football of the club, but now all of a sudden ask him to do what is morally correct for Ange, bollocks, you're contradicting yourself. You want him to do what is right for the club, then what he should be doing now, this is possibly our biggest chance, our biggest get-out clause ever to try and keep up with the top up there. If we fuck this up, we're done.
Dan,
we ain't getting the Champions League back.
He needs to get a better manager in there. Levy needs to buy quality players, Dan. That's what he needs to do.
As well. But Ange could have all the quality players and he still ain't doing fuck all in the league.
Listen to me, right? I'm Ange out. I've been Ange out all year, right? But I'm not Ange in. So people in the chat, listen carefully. I'm not Ange in. What I'm saying is he deserves to start next season. That's what I'm saying.
You're being morally correct. I'm willing to fuck next season over morals.
He deserves it. No, it's not morals. He deserves it because he's proven he can win trophies when the rest can't. He got it over the line when the rest couldn't. Call it what you want. Fluke, lucky, I don't care. Whatever you want to call it. He did it. He made it happen.
And if it wouldn't be for 3 shit teams still, we'd have been relegated.
Arteta inherited Unai Emery's team. He only had to play 2 games. Semi-final, he won it. And therefore, what? Arteta's the nuts now. For me, it's simple. He did what no manager at this club's done in 17 years. He deserves a chance at the start of the season. Pipes, one second.
I'm not going with.
1 second.
But you're being morally correct.
1 second. No. He deserves it because he's a proven winner. He proved he could win. Now, I never thought he had it in him. I never thought he'd do it. I doubted him all along, and I said this guy's rubbish. But he did it. But I've still got doubts because I'm not convinced by his tactical flexibility and his ability to develop players. I've got doubts. However, if he can win trophies, he deserves a chance to start the season. If it flops, Mari, 1 minute. Mari, 1 second, bro. If it flops, he's gone. But if it doesn't flop, then it made sense. But the biggest thing that needs to happen this summer, it's not Ange, it's not the manager, it's signing experience quality, because that's the only way the team gets better. And if we sack Ange because it doesn't work, the next manager that comes in gets to inherit quality players. Not shit. So what needs to happen?
Why waste half a season? Why make the same mistake Manchester United made with Ten Hag? Why?
No. This isn't the same situation.
We're going to be back here. We're going to be back here in 6 months' time still.
Why are you comparing it to Ten Hag?
How can I not compare it to Ten Hag? We're making this decision
because Man United are different. Because Man United are different to Tottenham.
Hang on. If he lost on Wednesday night, he would have been gone on Wednesday night.
Kept Arteta. They wanted Arteta out. They kept him. Now look.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
They're challenging.
If we lost on Wednesday night, he would have gone Wednesday night. Yes.
But he didn't lose.
I'm saying if he did.
And I'm saying he didn't.
All right. All right. Okay. Facts then. Facts. So we're basing everything on 90 minutes of football, and we're ignoring the 21.
No, we're basing it on winning a trophy.
We're a year and a half of a trophy for league form. Yes, love the trophy. I love the trophy. But the league form is unacceptable, Spell. The league form is unacceptable.
The league means nothing when you win the trophy and qualify for top 4. It means nothing.
That's not the mentality.
Trophies is the mentality.
That's not the mentality.
You've been sucked in by being 17th and dismissing the trophy. If we hadn't won the trophy, I'd be on your side. I'd say, do you know what? What a fucking catastrophe. What a disaster. But he saved it. He saved it.
So the thing is,
if it would have been a League Cup, I very much doubt anyone would be saying the same thing. If it would have been a League Cup that got us in the Conference League, people would have still been Ange out. It's the fact that it got us in the Champions League and why people have got so deloaded over it.
The League Cup's in February. No, Dan, the League Cup's in February. He would have had March, April, May. If we flopped in March, April, May, there's no excuses. But March, April, May, he rotated players to win that Europa. He took a season out from December, and it paid off. No, the League Cup is in
every game matters.
The League Cup, yes, if you don't win trophies. I said if you don't win trophies.
Oh, right. So
Should I say something?
if every game matters, then it matters no matter what, yeah? But you were the one that was telling me that I've got the wrong mentality because I said the Aston Villa game and Palace game are irrelevant because the major game is the cup game. You slammed down on here with a couple of others and told me, no. Every game is just as important, no matter what. You did not mention if you didn't have a show. So did everyone. When I said these past two games are fucking irrelevant because the one that matters is this one because it can get us Champions League and rescue us. Yes. You and Sava and others said no. Every game is relevant.
Yes, because I didn't think he's going to win the Europa, Dan. Because I didn't believe he'd win the trophy. I didn't think he was good enough. But he proved me wrong. How many times must I say this? I repeat myself 1,000 times and you try and come back at me with it. I never thought this guy would win the Europa. I've spent the whole season saying he ain't winning the Europa. He ain't going to do it. So therefore, every game's relevant. But he did win it. He proved me wrong.
So every game wasn't relevant now because he won a cup. Make your mind up.
No, it's not making my mind up. No, it's not making my mind up. I said he proved me wrong. What are you not listening to? He proved me wrong. I'm admitting I got it wrong.
You said every game is relevant.
Because I never thought he'd win a trophy.
Well, you stated clearly as others, every game is relevant.
Because I never thought he'd win a trophy, and I stated that as well. Right. I made it very clear on Tottenham away every week with Iggy, Maz, Mari, Lee, JP. I said, he ain't winning shit. Every week I said that. He proved me wrong. That's why I said it, Dan. I'm wrong. I'm admitting I'm wrong about this manager winning the trophy.
Stell. Hang on, Mari. Stell. So do you think him winning this Europa League proves that he's good enough to manage the Premier League?
It proves he deserves a chance to start the season. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't deserve a whole season.
Why are we wasting half a season?
It's not a waste.
We know it's a waste.
No, it's not a waste. It's not a waste because you don't know what he's going to do. You don't know what he's going to do, Pipes. You don't know.
The evidence is there. The evidence is there. You've had a year and a half of it.
I've said my bit. You guys chat. I'm repeating myself now. I've said my bit. You don't speak. I'm just repeating myself.
I think the most
sorry for interrupting.
I think the most important question, and this is really the big concern for me, and like I said, I'm going to do an episode this week, right? I was waiting till the days passed by on the injuries and the injuries myth because it's something that's always carried him. The problem is, and like Iggy says, I wholeheartedly thank Ange for the trophy, able to celebrate and whatsoever. Now that the celebration has come off, I want to go to common sense. I want to go by evidence. And the thing is, if you told me we're playing the Europa League again, okay, he deserves a chance to defend that Europa League. But now we're going to a harder competition. I'm going by what he says, that it's hard to manage the league and all these competitions along with injuries, which there is a history because of what he does. It will happen again. So there are some, like me, I would assume Dan, that, okay, if he can't clearly handle that, added with his judgment of the players that he has brought in, we're going into a season where we're going to sacrifice half of the year to say, let's try it out in the Premier League, let alone the Champions League. Let's try it out to see if it's going to work out. The ramification is that if it doesn't work out, first of all, who do we get in December? You're not pulling Glasner from Crystal Palace in December. He's playing in the Europa League. You're not playing. The only coach that probably come in, maybe it's their trump card, is maybe Xavi because he's not coaching anywhere currently now. But
this is our chance, Mari. We got to take it.
Yeah, I agree.
Not live on fucking
let
morally
me-
correctness.
so let
I'm
me-
agreeing
so let
with
It's
you.
not morally. He won a trophy. He did
Let me
what you
let-
want.
let me-
He won a
let me-
trophy.
It doesn't make it. It doesn't make it bulletproof, Celia. It doesn't make it bulletproof, still.
It doesn't make any
it
manager at Spurs
Let me-
bulletproof. There's no guarantees the next manager does
let me
well. There's
finish, let me
none.
finish.
Everything's
So
a
you
punt.
asking-
Everything
let
at
me
Tottenham's
finish.
a punt. Everything.
Let me finish. So you're
I don't
asking
get
us.
it.
You're asking us because I'm going in as soon as August 1st hits. You're asking me to kind of, in my heart, say, "Man, this is going to be a wasted season." Going by the evidence of how he gets out coached in the league, these teams like Crystal Palace, Villa, Newcastle, now Chelsea back in Champions League are going to get better. We didn't beat them all year. They're our coach. Yeah, we beat City. You think City's not going to come back hard? Liverpool
Murray.
just got reverts. Like all these teams in the league get out coached week after week.
Who cares if we win a trophy, Murray? Who cares?
Yeah, and you may be right. We may finish 11th and 12th and win the FA Cup because we play Tamworth, B, C, B, A, because all the stars align and we win a trophy.
Murray, would you take that? Murray, would you take that? Murray, would you take that?
For me, I'm going to be honest, because I want more. I want more.
What do you want then, Murray? No, this is so I'm going back to this now. What do you want? Murray, what do you want?
I want
Progression.
I want progression along with the
What is
trophy.
progression? I want you to explain this to me because this is where you lot all come unstuck. What do you want? If it's not the FA Cup, what do you want?
Okay, let me tell
The
you.
joke of it is,
A realistic year. A realistic year is if we finish fifth, right? Finish fifth in the Champ League, we get out to the knockout stages. Because as of now, I don't believe we can get to knockout stages.
Yeah, okay. Knockout stages of Champions League, fifth in the league.
We get to quarterfinals, and we win a Carabao Cup. That
Okay,
for me.
Murray, what if we finish ninth? Murray, what if we finish ninth? Murray, what? Okay, what if we finish ninth and win the Carabao Cup? Would you be okay with that or not?
Okay, and then what does he do in the Champions League? Left that out.
You get to the knockout stage and you crash out.
Which is going to happen if you got age anyway.
And I would say it's not better than season 2, but it's good. It's good.
Murray, so therefore the league position means nothing. You've just confirmed it. As long as we win a trophy, you just confirmed it, bro. You just said it.
But this
you just said it.
This argument makes no sense because I tell you who
because you're all contradicting yourself.
The league position.
I honestly don't believe. No, the thing
the league position will mean something to the board.
I truly don't believe. This is what I feel. This is the realistic. I believe. At best, right? Injuries barring, we finished 10th. The domestic leads, because in the domestic in England, these coaches got him sussed out. We don't win the Carabao, we don't win the FA Cup, and Champions League, we don't even make the knockout rounds. That's why I truly believe with this manager, what happens? We're shut out. And for me, I want to go into season believing in a manager I feel that will set us up to be able to get results. You can call me a clown all you want, age. Remove the A and put B for bitch. All right, so shut up. Yeah.
Sorry, Murray, sorry. Anyone being rude in the chat, I'm not just going to ban you, I'm going to block you for good. We already had 2 racist morons that we blocked earlier. Anyone that can't handle a spicy debate without getting rude, I swear down, this is your warning, you will be banned from this channel. Don't ruin you not being able to comment in the chat. Be respectful, okay? We're all friends on this show. We will end up drinking and having a laugh in WhatsApp groups. So if you can't be the same in the chat, honestly, leave for your own good. Sorry, Murray.
Yeah. And so that's my thing is that I don't want it to be a wasted season. I get people say he deserves that, the whole moral ground, but I want that's something that is moral and that's wisdom. And wisdom is looking at facts, data, looking at things that to say, this guy just can't cut it in the Premier League. He can't cut it. And yes, he performed in the cup, easy or not easy whatsoever. But now it gets much harder. And for us, I want us to be in a position where we could do the best to our ability. And I just don't believe Ange could get us to the next level. He's almost like a stopgap. Thank you. You gave us the Europa League. Now this is the time. I agree with Dan. This is the time to now capitalize. Daniel Levy, right? You said you want now. He made the comment, and I messaged guys in the chat in the background, and I put a big emphasis on what he says. Right? He says sustainability, and he said sustainability, and it was another comment he said. He said sustainability, and gosh, just give me a quick second because I want to say it. Long term and sustain. He wants long term and sustain. And for me, the tactics of Ange, the way he set things up,
You'll never do it.
It's not
in the league.
Guys, let me just say this, and then I'm going to shoot off. Right? For me, I have no problem in saying I want Ange gone, and I'll tell you why. I think the level for next season, and I think winning the Europa, I think without people even necessarily knowing it, the expectation to feel this again and to go at it and perhaps win another trophy will be there. Okay? So I think the competition and the level has already gone up. In the league, we need to do a lot better than what we did this season, but that's a given anyway. The Champions League that we're going to go in, we're not going to win that Champions League as we currently are. If we make the knockouts, it's already an achievement with this crop of players that we got.
With Ange's tactics, we won't do it, Iggy.
Hang on. The biggest factor for me is this. The ambition has to change from the club to say that the level has to go up. And it needs to be transmitted by the club before any manager comes on board. Now, for me, to see Ange go, like I said earlier on, where the club got lost now, I said that we need to bring in a bad boy manager because we're in a position of power. We've got the Champions League football back at the lane. We just won silverware, and also right now, you can attract those players, but you need the name. You need the name of the manager to come in and say, do you know what? I want that guy. Now, if you said to me right now, like I said earlier, I made a question. I think it got ignored a little bit. I said, Kane, 10 years at Spurs, won nothing. 1 year Solanke, he's won something. Would you get rid of Solanke to get in Kane? Yeah, you would, because you know who Kane is, right? If you said to me now, get rid of Sarr, winner of Europa, would you get to come in for him? Yeah, you would. So what I'm saying is, I need to visibly see that we are upgraded. And
you need to see Spurs, Iggy, stop being Spursy. Because if we hang on to Ange...
Guys, let Iggy finish because he's got to go. Let Iggy finish.
There has to be clarity, mate. There has to be clarity. I need to know exactly what's going to happen and say, do you know what? If I can get... Let's say I'm just going to throw a name. It's not happening because he's now the coach of Brazil. But if someone said to me, do you know what? Ancelotti's going to come in right now and bring in 2-3 powerhouse names and we're going to kick on this season. We'll all say yes. Even at the cost saying, Ange, mate, you got to go, man, because we've got this. So unless something like that happens, if we're just going to get rid of a manager, because clearly look, we know that he's not, I don't think he's at the level required, especially the level that we're about to enter for next season. So I'd want to see a logical choice, and Paratici is going to play a big part in this in the summer, by the way. I underestimated that. Will Paratici confirm?
Iggy, is Paratici actually back at the club? Because nothing's been confirmed yet.
Well, it's not confirmed, but if it's true what's been reported, he's going to be back.
He wasn't Bilbao.
Bring his own man.
He wasn't Bilbao.
I'm saying that
was he there? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that, Pipes.
Yeah, structurally,
he was out there. Apparently, apparently.
Structurally, we've got to change within. The mentality changes within. And the structure and the ambition has to come from the club where we can all follow. Now we ain't gonna get rid of a manager right now who's listen, maybe not, he's not everyone's favorite, but he has won a trophy, man. Whether we fucking hate him or not, or he's shit or not, he's the one that he has got us over the line. I have to say that. So, but if you know that, exactly. So if a bad boy manager though gets signed and say, do you know what? Sorry, Ange, you got to go because we got Ancelotti, we got Luis Enrique coming. You'll be like, wow, man, no one can argue. Even the most Ange will be like, whoa, man, that's a top manager. And he's got a pulling power of 2-3 quality players that can bring the level up of Tottenham Hotspur. Then you can then Mari on the progression side of it. I'll be on board of that. but we've got to do it within. So it's going to be interesting the next few weeks if Paratici when he comes in and how we move. Because right now it's all.
Iggy, can I ask you a question, please?
It's all hot air at the moment, man.
Iggy, can I ask you one question on what you said? And I'm not trying to.
No, dig it out, man. I don't mind. Go for it.
No. It's a genuine question, right?
Yeah, I would choose trophies. By the way, every year.
We had elite managers come to this club, right?
They weren't backed, man.
Iggy, right? It didn't work. So so is that the right direction for Tottenham?
If Levy,
elite managers, because the best managers we've had, Iggy, the best managers we've had, whether we like it or not, Ramos, who won a trophy, this guy who won a trophy, and the man that came closest to the biggest was Pot. None of them were big names.
Levy went to war with practically every of these managers you're talking about, Conte and Mourinho. He went to war with two elite guys that were on the fringes, on the cusp of doing something really good. Mourinho was 5-6 days away, perhaps, of really going up there. And he had a good record against Pep Guardiola. We fucked him off because of an argument that they had about the Southampton game, which meant that we were going to lose out Champions League football because he didn't want to play his first team players before the FA Cup final. So that was it. This year, we didn't have that because we were so many miles away from the. He had to go for the Champions League, the Europa, because it involved Champions League football the sixth season. That's why Levy was on board with winning the Europa as well. So
exactly.
But Iggy, combine the two.
But Iggy, can I just come to your point? Can I just come to your point though? Yeah, right. And I'm so glad.
I realise there's a lot of people, and everyone wants to have their say.
Alex, let him finish.
No, but he's coming. Let me just say something before he goes. Let me say something. Yeah. My point is though, yeah, right. He only had the luxury of saying that, right. That he fucked off the league. Sorry for swearing, right? Because the relegation teams were so crap this season, bro. Yeah, 38 points gets you relegated, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm not. I've said I'd like a new manager in. I've said this many times.
I'm just saying. Yeah, and then what he says in the press conference is bang out of order. Oh, successful season because I won a trophy. Not addressing the fact that we are 17th. It's not that.
But he answered that.
He did address it.
He answered that. He said,
"Don't do this, Manny. Don't do this, Manny. Manny, guys,
boys, stop. Listen,
stop everyone for this manager.
Alex,
I'm not in the mood for him.
Alex, what he said. Now we can agree.
Why
with
I only
it or
have
not.
6 on the show, man.
Alex, we can agree with it or not, right? But Ange Postecoglou said two things that he's backed, okay? One, he said, I always win in my second season, and he backed it. He called that back when, right? He said
hold
it.
My hands up.
Do you know what?
With him.
He got called a clown. They went on far being called a clown. We all called him a clown. We all said this geezer's fucking.
I didn't call him a clown.
But he backed it. He said he didn't say he always delivers, and he did. And the other thing he said, what did he say the other day? Oh, fuck.
Season 3 is always better than season 2, something like that.
Oh, see, no, forget all that. That's like because the main character sometimes get killed off. But look, he said he backed what he said, and also he said, that's it. It came back to me. He said you don't change the mentality by finishing 5th, 6th, or even 2nd. You don't get parade for that. He said what you do change what this club needed more than anything else above any league position. Right, and that could be him saving his own ass. But what he did say is that the only way you change the mentality at a club is by delivering trophies. He said that. So it's two things he's actually said recently that I've agreed with. He needed to, more than anything else,
for his reputation.
Now that he's done
that,
hang on, Alex. He's done that. He's got the monkey off the back of our. Listen, we've been the butt of all jokes, Alex.
Yeah, but Iggy,
now people have put a halt to that. But what he can't do is repeat the league standard and league form next season. He can't do that. I agree with that.
But he did it for his reputation. That he wins in his second season. That's why he did it, right? That's why he made it.
It doesn't matter what he did.
Alex, he did it though.
I agree with you. But he did. But you say it for the club, but he did it for his reputation as well.
He delivered though. It doesn't matter what he did it for.
No. But Iggy, you're not listening to me, are you? Yeah,
but
that's cool.
For himself.
But he did it for himself as well. Yeah, that's why he's getting all smug. That's why he's getting all smug. That's why he's getting all smug and saying stupid things like he said there.
If everyone's calling Alex, if everyone calls you a clown and you're telling against everyone that's thinking that you're a clown and deluded, by the way, they're thinking you're deluded, and you're saying I always deliver on my second season, and
no, he's got every right to be
fucking crazy, and he delivers it, man. That's the thing.
No, you're right.
Everyone has to shut up
on that aspect, yeah. But on that aspect,
I said he was deluded when he said that. But you know what? You're like,
no, he's done his shit. But that's where you say thank you, goodbye, and get better and progress.
I agree. As long as there's a plan in place. If you said to me right now, by the way, Antonio Conte is leaving Napoli, and you know what? Let's say that, I'll give you a Napoli example, right? There's rumours that he's going to leave and go back to Juve. I don't know where he's going, but he's leaving Napoli because of whatever. Right? The Napoli owner has got himself Max Allegri tied up. If he does go, he's got Allegri in. So what I'm saying is, he'll keep that continuity after winning the league with another manager who is proven, as you know, in Serie A, is very successful in Serie A. So he will keep that going, even with this bunch of players that he's got, which Conte done a miracle with, I have to say. But what I'm saying, that's the kind of thing I like to see at Spurs. That you get rid of Ange Postecoglou, no problem. I'm okay with it. But can we please have it now and say, do you know what? We're getting rid of him. And tomorrow you announce the next manager that everyone's going to be like, fucking, I want to be blown away by the next manager. Because
Glasner could get us top 6 or 7 and get an FA Cup, in my opinion.
But what I'm saying is, get rid of him. Bring another manager in that's going to say, do you know what? It's going to
better
change
manager.
Because I do also believe that players like Romero, Mickey van der Ven, and all these players here, they're like this now. They're on the high because they've won a cup. And if you can just bring in a proper manager, say, do you know what? Champions League football means better manager, better players. These guys would stay. I'm telling you now, Romero, van der Ven, they will have
Romero's gone. No matter
if he's gone because he's got his own ambition, that's fine. No problem.
That's what I reckon.
I got no problem because he said, you know what? I've won the trophy. It's time to go. No problem with that. But what I'm saying is, for the rest of the players, if you start losing again and then get this toxicity, because it has been toxic at Spurs, man. Even in the league, it has been bad. It has been bad. We've played bad. We've played shit tactics, which, by the way, we changed completely for the Europa Cup. We played Man United. That's the one thing we have never talked about is football tonight. That final, we played with a back four who played as a back four and never moved. The two fullbacks, there was no inverted shit. There was none.
He went to a back five. He went to a back five for the last 20 minutes.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is,
Ange boy is dead.
Has he said to me there's no flexibility? He's shown flexibility. He's saying we don't play one way, mate. No, he's actually shown he can play another way. That's a frustration, by the way, me, because we did that away to Man City in the league. We played definitely not like the Spurs Ange ball way. We have shown that we can play differently. And I'm thinking, why has he not done that a lot more in the league than the way he has done it in other matches? That's the frustration I have with Ange in football wise. But for me, look, just to conclude, and I'm gone, man. I've got no problem with a manager going, but I want to be sure that a next manager comes in that's going to bring us up a level. Otherwise, if I'm just going to take a gamble and put on another manager who might do well, who might not do well, he might bring us to another level, or he might just keep it. It might go worse. That's no planning, guys. It's just like taking a punt, and I'm fed up of taking punts, man. That's all I'm going to say on the matter, man. Guys, big up, guys, and I'll speak to you soon. All right.
Big up, Biggie.
Big up, Biggie.
Biggest joke is, if we need to improve, we've always got to look every season what's gone wrong, what's gone right, and then you improve. You've got to look at the negative to find the problem, to sort the problem. The negative everybody has said in this league this season has been Ange's tactics. Not even necessarily the players. At times, yes, the players. But it is blatantly Ange's tactics are not good enough for a league. If you can remember, Stel, I said at the start of the season, halfway through it, I believe Ange can get us a cup with the way he plays. But a cup is very different over 38 league games.
That's all I want, though, a cup.
Okay, that might be what you want, but then your standards are lower than mine.
No, my standards are winning trophies. That's how you're remembered as a football club.
But
winning trophies.
Can I ask a question, guys? Because
you're not just
Manny, can I, guys? I'm going to bring you Manny now. I'm going to bring you in, and also want to bring in Steve. I just want to do some super chats quick because I'm behind again on the super chat. Sorry, boys. We've got a couple of. Where was I? Oh, here we go. Sorry. I Hate Marmite says, Stel, did you want Ramos sacked? Yes or no? Juan de Ramos, no. I wanted him to stay because he won a trophy and he deserved it. I designated Hotspur. Oh, he's on the show now. I don't want to hear it. Arsenal went out to Villarreal, Olympiacos in Lisbon. Angelis Presa said next season he's going to be up there in the league. Stop diminishing the achievement. Right. Manny, do me one favor. I do want to bring you in, but Steve jumped on first.
No. He's a Spurs fan. He can go first.
No, Steve. There's a reason why I want you to go first. Before Manny gives us another Spurs opinion, Steve, you're in neutral to this, right? You're from outside. You're a Newcastle fan looking in. You know enough about football to know enough about Spurs and to know enough about what we've done this year and in the league not being good. And winning a Europa and crashing out of domestic cups at semi-finals and against Villa. You've seen it all. What do you make of this? Because we've won a war. We've won a trophy, and now we're having a civil war over the manager. So, what do you make of it? What's your thinking of the whole Ange thing?
I'm not surprised. I think it all depends on what do you guys want Spurs to be. You guys want to be like an Eintracht Frankfurt, who over the past few years, they're not one of the, they're like the 6th or 7th biggest club in Germany, but they are a good cup team and they do have a rep for it. Like, people like me, like I look for them at the start of the year. They're a threat to win one of the cups, right? And do you guys want to be that, or do you guys want to be a team that tries to go, and just get Champions League and try to challenge for a league title? I think you need to pick your identity as a club. And Spurs, from what it seems like, especially with the older Spurs fans that I've chatted with, you guys are what, in the 90s you won 3 cups, an FA Cup and 2 league cups or something like that. Okay.
No, 1 league cup,
1 league cup,
1 FA Cup, 2 trophies.
And in the 80s you won a few, right? With
4,
the UEFA
4 trophies.
Okay, so your past few trophies have been cups. So if you guys want to go back to that, then you may as well keep Edge. Because just being honest here, with Levy, I don't think you guys challenge for a league. No, I hold on. I can't say that. No, I can't say that Spurs cannot challenge for a league title because I've seen you do it before. So I can't say that. I was about to say that, but I'm like, wait, no, hold on. When Poch was here, you guys were challenging for the league title. You were very, very, very close. So I would probably get rid of Ange. But if you guys want to be a cup team and have that be your thing, I understand why you keep him. Because made the semifinal this year, got beat off Liverpool in the semifinal of Carabao Cup. He won Europa.
Steve, quick question for you, mate. Quick question with what you're saying. Sorry to interrupt you, but question. Do you think Spurs as a club are big enough to fight for top 6, top 7 sort of thing, and also fight for an FA Cup or a League Cup or the Europa if they win it at the same time?
Yeah, of course.
Or does it have to be one or the other?
You can do both at the same time because...
Thank you. That's what I'm asking for.
What does the league position matter if you don't win it?
Because if you don't get into a Champions League or European football regular, I know the FA Cup or the League Cup will do that for you. But we all know if you don't get into that Champions League regular, you lose revenue, you lose spending power, you lose pulling power, and then you will just slip all the way down to the point where you ain't got a pot to piss in. You can't fucking attract no one. And then you're just going to have to be super hoper on a League Cup. And then you'll get that bad that a manager that this is bad in the league will get you fucking relegated.
So make sure you win the trophy there.
But at the end of the day, what is more actually... Now, we want to win things, yes. But it's very sad that it's come to this. But to an extent, Champions League is more important than a fucking cup. It shouldn't be, but it is. Because you need that to keep up with the top. And then getting the cup on the side, I think we are a big enough team And if Glasner can get 12th with Palace, who was basically rock bottom, and get an FA Cup with them, I think he's more than capable of the team we've got to at least fight us out for a top 6 or 7 and get an FA Cup or a League Cup in the
Crystal Palace. But hold on, that doesn't make sense because Crystal Palace and Tottenham both won trophies without being in the Champions League, so you don't need Champions League.
And by the way, Glasner won the
progressive life. You do
was 11th. By the way,
winning a trophy is progression.
League with Frankfurt and finished 11th in the Bundesliga. But that's just by the by. Dan, this is to you, by the way, because obviously we've gone back and forth quite a lot with regards to this topic, and I think that a lot of times when someone backs Ange himself, it means that they want the next season, they want Spurs the next season to be 17th, which again makes absolutely no sense.
It's a false
right?
equivalency.
Ange himself in this presser, and I wanted to hear him say that because it kind of puts that whole notion to bed. He in this presser just today said, "I categorically think and believe that we will be up there in the league while still be able to be competitive in the Champions League if we're able to recruit properly," right? That's what he said. That's what I believe. I don't think by any means, shape or form that Ange himself being at the helm next year or next season will have us anywhere near the level that we're in right now. But that's just beside the point. I want to know from
it's an opinion that we're entitled.
Yeah, of course, 100%. I want to know from your side because I hear a lot of vague things from a lot of people. A lot of people said, and I watched a lot of shows. I'm just getting to the point. A lot of people said before we played Frankfurt, a lot of Ange outers said we have to, and they were so categorical, we have to sack Ange in order to have a chance at this cup, right? We went all the way.
That's true.
No, nothing has been said. And now I'm hearing people say to me, "Oh no, but I backed Ange." Yeah, you backed him after we beat Frankfurt. Before we beat Frankfurt, majority of you said we don't. So my question is, the point I'm getting to is for the audience and for everyone else, because obviously whether we sack Ange or not is not our decision, right? We're just giving our opinion. From your side, whether Ange is in or out, right? What is your expectation when you say I want progression, right? Because what I want everyone to know. Yeah, no, I'll let you answer. What I want everyone to be on the same point is, if Ange does not get sacked and does hit your expectations, I do not want a situation where you come in and you say, "Oh, actually, he hasn't won the Champions League, so it's not good enough for me." So, what is your expectation?
I wouldn't be saying that about the Champions League, and I don't know how long you've been watching this stuff or listening to it, but you might not have remembered or you might not have heard me say it. I was probably the only one on here who said that I think Ange can or will win a trophy this year.
I remember you saying that.
From day one.
We talked about it.
Why? Because the way he plays, you can scrimp and scrape that for a cup like he just did. Same as England getting in the past 2 finals. Were they good enough? Were they fuck? But they scrimped and scraped their way to it. You cannot judge a manager's quality, in my opinion, overall quality on a cup. The league is what does not lie.
It's your bread and butter.
And for 19 months, he has been terrible in that league. Now, in a cup, you can play, you score 3, we score 4, and it can work. You can do that in the league as well, and it'll work for about 6 games. But it ain't working or even 10 games. But he ain't working for 38 games. I called him out after his first 7 games when we were still winning and said, this man is going to get destroyed in the league, but I'm sure he's got a plan B. I couldn't have been more wrong if I tried because he didn't have a plan B. I always said he's got the capability of winning a cup from day one. But in a league, in a big league, he is out of his depth in such a way with his tactics. You cannot play in the Premier League, the Bundesliga, the La Liga, Serie A. Maybe the French league, you can get away with it as PSG. You can do it in Celtic. Why is the Scottish League ranked 40 or 42nd in the world? Yeah, there's your reason, yeah? Because it's crap. Simple as that. You can be Celtic and do that. You cannot do that. Even if he was Man City, his tactics, he still would not win that. He might get a top 4, but he ain't winning nothing. Maybe a cup, because his tactics just concede too many goals. Go stick Paolo Maldini and Nesta in defence with him. They look like average, everyday defenders like Romero and Van de Ven do, because of the stupid tactics, inverted high line we play, conceding the same goals every single bloody game. And everybody was saying it's the tactics. So what I expect for progression, yeah? I mean, if Ange stays and we finish 15th, you could say we've progressed. But no, I don't look at it like that. Spurs are meant to be a top 6 club. Everyone keeps moaning about that Daniel Levy, don't do this, don't do that. We're a top 6 club. We should be doing A, B, C, D. But then the second we get a cup in and finish 17th, they justify the 17th with the cup. No. I want Spurs to do what they are more than capable of doing. And I want Spurs to act more like a woman, not like a man. Because the thing is with a man, being a man, most of us can only just focus on one thing at the same time. Women are usually ones that can do 2 things,
Multitask.
3 things at multitask, yeah? Men can't seem to do that. Seems like with the thinking that the Spurs fans have got at the moment, they can't multitask it. They can only think through their fucking menopause at the moment.
Emotions.
Too much.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, let me finish my bit and then I'm done. At the moment,
No Spurs
I just feel a lot of Spurs fans
no Spurs managers
are going through their emotions at the moment. They're not thinking logically ahead of how this club needs to improve.
I'm sorry.
If we need to improve. We need to get a manager that is capable of getting us in a Champions League position, because whether we like it or not, the Champions League will bring you more than an FA Cup or a League Cup. Like it or lump it. It will get you further. It will get you more money. It will get you better players. It can get you a better manager. It will keep you up there. You can fight. And in the process with that, I feel we are more than big enough to be fighting for a League Cup or an FA Cup on the side. Champions League, we're out of our depth. My problem is with the other part as well, on the Levy side.
When you say fight for the FA Cup or League Cup, what stage are we talking about? I just want you to be specific.
Semi-finals at least. Semi-finals.
Okay, so semi-finals. So you basically want or the next manager or Ange or next season to be fighting for top 4, top 5, depending on what the coefficient is going to be next season.
Top 6 is what I think we're capable of.
Sorry?
Top 6 is what I think we're capable of with this team.
Top 6, and then be able to get to either a semi-final or a final of a League Cup, or win it, obviously, ideally, right?
And bring back Poch.
So from your side, you're telling me that categorically you do not think that Ange, having had a summer, is going to be able to do that, right?
He's had 2 summers, Bob. He's had 2 summers.
Alex, let me answer the question. He asked me the question.
Yeah, but
he's already proved.
He's had 2 summers.
He's already proved.
But that's not my.
His league tactics are inept.
No, but that's fine. That's fine.
Hang on. A lot of Ange lovers love to sit here and grill people who make stats over 2 seasons. Yeah, they say, well, that happened in the first season, but you're mixing it with this season, so his lose ratio is now 60% or whatever it is, whereas it's actually this and that. So that season he finished 5th. Well done. But actually, he should have finished 4th if he weren't such a stubborn prick and listened to a couple of people.
I thought you said top 6. Top 6 was your metric. So now 5th is.
Yeah, now it is. Now it is, because I've got to forget about like the 5th place, and we've just finished 17th. So he got us 5th, and the fact is, he could have got us 4th if he'd have adapted.
No,
I'm not.
He should have.
No, I'm not. I haven't changed my tune with nothing. I'm telling you what I think he should have done.
You lot call me a flip flop. You lot are unbelievable. You are a flip flop. You are flip flops, man. When Ange Postecoglou, you're a flip flop. All of you. No. When Ange Postecoglou became manager of Tottenham, when Ange Postecoglou became manager of Tottenham,
you know exactly what you're doing, Manny.
When Ange Postecoglou became manager of Tottenham and Harry Kane was sold, all of us, including
don't
you
start
two,
this with Harry Kane.
Alex, let me finish what I'm saying before you have a hissy fit. Right?
I'm not having a hissy fit.
Yes,
rubbish.
You're having one right now. You're right now.
No,
right?
you're right.
Let me finish what I'm saying, Alex. You all said when Ange became manager that top 6 would be a bloody good season. He got 5th. He should have got 4th. That's not what you said when he became manager.
With one game a week,
one game a week. If he would have adapted and stopped
game a week,
crap. But you said top 6.
Your targets can change during the season, you know.
That's what I'm looking at now.
Your expectations can change during the season.
No, they haven't.
And the targets can
said
change.
First season.
And the targets can change for Ange next season.
Right.
But he's shown he's not good enough, though. He's shown he's not good enough.
I said with his first
He
season,
won a trophy.
the position we was in.
You hate hearing the words
by a lot of fans, and he also got told
I'm not dismissing that
his zonal marking was a problem. He even told the press basically to fuck off and shut up about it. And then when it comes to 3 games towards the end of the season, he actually changed his zonal marking to man marking, even though that was a main issue. If he'd have adapted that way, I believe we could have got 4th. But we got 5th, and it was an improvement. So people said, okay, but he will learn. Yeah, next season, he just played the same bloody way, and we ended up in 17th place, and that is acceptable. Okay, we got a trophy with it. But I feel this team and this club is big enough to every season be fighting for at least a top 6 place and have a good chance of winning one of the cups.
I don't disagree with you there, Dan. Listen, I do not.
But no manager has done that with Levy at the wheel. Nobody. You want us to do something we've never done before.
If you want Levy to do what is right, stop asking him to do what is morally correct.
If you want Levy to do what's right,
you contradict it.
Then stop blaming the manager and pointing your finger at the board.
Oh, here we go again.
Listen. Two things.
Better players.
Two things can be
investing in quality players for one manager at least, because he's never done any
Levy's the cancer, but this manager is poor. This manager is also piss poor. I'm not even sure. Oh, we've won a trophy. Well done. Are we giving thanks? We giving thanks.
What's the game about? What is the game about? Winning trophies. What do you mean well done?
Still.
Yeah.
You're ignoring a year and a half of it's been a downward trajectory. The first season when we had a 10-game unbeaten start, we were actually 5 points clear. 5 points clear at one stage at the top.
Yeah, we
played 6.
We played 6.
And we had 1 game a week. I know that. And we had 1 game a week.
Yeah.
1 game a week. So to actually finish 5th that season was actually a failure, quite frankly. Yeah, and the results have been a carry over the second half of last season. Yes, a failure.
You see the fucking team we had. We all said top 6 is the best we could achieve.
Look at the team that got to top 4. Hang on a minute. Look at the team that got to top 4.
Who was our striker last season? Pigeon. What the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Apart from Kane.
Timo Werner was the left winger.
All right, apart from Kane, though, look at the team that Conte got to top 4 with.
Apart from 35 goals, that Kane scores,
Does everyone agree that this season when we haven't played inverted wing backs and sat back a bit and we play counter-attacking, pragmatic sort of style football, we've been much better. Right.
100%.
So the manager sees that and didn't probably intend to do it, but we got forced to play that way by certain teams.
Yeah.
So, and then all of a sudden sees that, hang on, that is how we play better. But this manager is so fucking intelligent or so fucking stubborn that he sits there and goes,
ego.
I'll just go back to my way, the ego way. Sorry, I don't want that. Learn. You learn.
But who cares if you win the Europa? Who cares if you win the Europa?
That is the problem. This is what I'm saying. If it would have been a League Cup, everyone would have still be saying Anja. It's only the fact that this Europa,
the League Cup's in February, Dan. We're going around in circles. No, because the League Cup's in February, and my question would have been,
what's it matter? But Anja'd already blown the league out in December.
You just said the League Cup, and I'm saying to you, the League Cup final is in February. I'm repeating myself to you over and over again. It's not registering. We won the League Cup in February. No, because you're not listening, Dan. The League Cup is in February.
To be fair, our final was in March.
Well, then listen to what I'm saying again, because it's not registering. The League Cup is in February. Therefore, there's no excuse to rotate in March, April, May. When you've won the League Cup in February, there's no excuse to then tumble in the league.
Okay.
Whereas the excuse at the moment is he rotated to go for the Europa and he won it.
And but he'd already blown the league out before Christmas.
Because he went for the Europa and he won it.
Are you happy with that?
But I thought every game mattered.
I'm happy you won the Europa. Yes, 100%, man. Look at me.
So you're happy. You're happy. You say
every game
every January.
All I know is
again, I repeat myself. Every game matters if you don't win a trophy, but he won a trophy.
All I know is I just want to say this.
So you're going to quite happily keep paying the money in for a manager who blows the season out in fucking December, and you're going to be muggish enough to keep going paying the money to go watch the team play and get destroyed because he don't give a shit about the season and he's only playing for
tell the 14,000 pounds. Tell the 14,000 fans in the Bilbao Stadium their mugs. Go on. I'd love to hear that one.
I'm just going to say this.
I'm talking about when they're going to Spurs League games when they ain't there to win.
We're mugs playing to Bilbao and having the best night this club's given us in 20 years. We're all mugs. All right?
I wasn't talking about that. I said league games.
Let me say
That's
something.
part of the season, man. That's part of the season.
But listen, for this season,
illegal shit that I admit, but I don't care. I don't care.
For this season, it will fly. Right? Because
one season I can put it aside still, but second season, no.
10, let me speak.
Which is why I said it's the start of the season, not the season. I made that so.
We were so desperate for a trophy, rightly so. We've tasted it, right? Like everybody said, 17 seasons, we've tasted it. But let me just tell you this: for next season, if people, I'm across the pond, season ticket holders are happy to, as many home games, right? The 38 games schedule to go through loss after loss, getting pumped after pump after pump, and pull out the Carabao Cup. Yes, we won the trophy, but if you're really happy, then I would invest in buying tickets just for the cup games and not for the league games, because we're basically saying for the league, we don't give a shit. And so,
do that. Yeah, cool. Do that. What's wrong with that?
You might not say we're happy being Wigan because 38 points would have got
Wigan got relegated.
11 times.
Wigan got relegated.
No, yeah, and 38 points would have got relegated 11 times. 11 times. 11 times in previous seasons. 11 times.
You're a joker. Spurs have won 20 plus trophies, man. You can trust Wigan. This is joke. This is joke.
Your mentality is that of Wigan. Your mentality is that of Wigan. If you're
Wigan don't win, Wigan have won like 2 trophies in their life. How's my mentality Wigan? What are you talking about?
Why are you happy to be flirting with relegation still? We
never got relegated. We never got relegated.
Oh my lord! Why do you think we got relegated this season?
We never got relegated. No,
this is crazy.
A team got relegated this season on 10 points. That's the buffer that saved us.
Not us.
That's the buffer that saved us. Yeah, we had 3 of the shittest teams,
and that's Spurs' fault.
And we were better than them.
Yeah, who cares?
Whoopie-doo.
My whole
Europa Cup, Champions League. Fucking whoopie-doo, mate.
I've got to depart. Yeah, but it's great being on.
By the way, can I?
I'm taking it easy.
Pipes. I want you back on one day.
Yeah, man, no problem. Give me a shout.
All right, cool.
My last point before I leave, by the way.
Please.
My whole point, right? Just so everyone is clear on where I differ with a few others in relation to Ange, right? I am not happy being 17th. No. Mm-hmm. If I was to look at bearing in mind, I'm not one of the people, the 2,000 and 2 million people that used to say, I would take 17th and win a trophy, sack managers that are just doing top 4. I wasn't one of them, right? Being 17th is not what, my cup of tea. But however, I can understand the various different circumstances that happened that got us to January, whereby they then decided, whoever decided, you know what, I'm going to focus on the Carabao Cup and the Europa League. That's completely fine. Where me and a lot of people differ is where Ange is going to be next season. It's not about me being happy about being 17th, because I'm not. However, I do believe that Ange is not going to be anywhere near those places in the league, and that he actually would challenge for those top.
Do you think we could get a better manager with having the Champions League there now, which we have got on our side? Won a cup, whatever, and that, yeah. Couple of stable players at the cup, at the team, but obviously needs building as any team does, yeah. Do you think we can get a better manager than Ange Postecoglou?
It depends on where this better manager.
No. That's not why I asked you. I said, do you think we can?
Can I answer? The reason why I'm saying that is because I have seen countless managers not win anything for the club. This guy has come in and won something for the club, and I believe he can get us to the top 6 places.
So you don't think Spurs could get a better manager than Ange?
No. What I said is, unless this better manager is going to get the backing from Levy and actually get us to challenge for, the league.
What do you mean the backing from Levy? He had Levy's backing, 400 million.
No.
Sorry, what he means is quality players, experienced players.
Like, come on, are we all acting like, after the summer window we're absolutely ecstatic with the 3 teenagers that came in? Let's be serious.
The thing is, let's be serious. Most of the fan base was. If you want to be serious.
Well, I wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
And then
hold
on. And in January, when we had 10 injuries, 10 injured players, and the board knew about it, were we happy that the board bought the 2 players that we brought in January on the last day of the window?
Okay. Why did we have the 10 injuries then? Because some manager wouldn't adapt and change his ways and use rotation.
Which is absolutely fine. I get that.
So you want a manager that can rotate then?
No. But that's the point I'm making to you. I fully understand where you're coming from on certain.
So it's Angie's fault.
The point that I'm making to you is that the same people, the same Spurs fans who said to me categorically that our manager could not win a trophy and that our manager could not do the things that he's done, are now telling me that this manager categorically cannot get top 6. So forgive me if I do not trust these people and actually trust what I have seen.
I get where you're coming from.
Different seasons.
But again, I called this manager out after 7 games. 7 fucking games. And I got it spot on with him. And I also said at the start of the season, I believe he can win a league because those crazy tactics he plays, a cup, can win you a cup. They can. I said it from day. They can. You can win a cup however you want to play.
You saw his limitations right away, but you saw
exactly
what he's capable of.
Because in a cup, you can play any which way and bloody win it, basically, yeah?
So
I personally believe that I'm not willing to take a risk of screwing another season, because if we screw that next season, if we don't finish in the top 5, because I think that 5th place will still count as Champions League, we ain't getting no Champions League. Then that's a lot of money out. We are not going to have this little Europa Cup to fall back on, because this year it was made quite an easy cup, probably easier than the League Cup, in my opinion. Either way, it's a good trophy to have. It's a good trophy to have. But these days, the FA Cup or the League Cup's probably harder to win it since they don't bring down the Champions League teams, yeah? That's why we definitely got through that. But the fact is, we can only play who we're playing against, yeah? What, you think the Europa Cup was the same this year as the past 5 years?
No, it's not the same from that perspective, because
it's easier now, isn't it?
No, no one can tell me that. Arsenal, I keep saying,
Lazio in the competition. Real in the competition. Bilbao in the competition. Galatasaray in the competition. It wasn't easy.
It was not easy.
We could only beat what's in front of us.
I agree with the beating in front of you.
When Frankfurt won it 2 years ago, they were not in the Champions League. When Seville won it, they were not in the Champions League. Arsenal went out to Olympiacos, Sporting Lisbon, and Villarreal. We went out.
We could only beat who we played against, yeah, and we got it. But next year, we're not going to have that. We're not going to have that save our ass that we just focus on that.
Yeah, but Dan, what if you get?
We need to get top 5.
Yeah,
and be willing and be able to go for a cup.
100%. And I
surely
think
we're big enough to do that.
And I think he can do it.
No manager has done that before at Spurs, Dan. What you want has never been done.
Right. But this manager definitely ain't going to do it for me.
But no manager's done it.
Well, we'll see.
No manager's done it.
Do you think Angie's tactics work in this league then?
Name your manager that can do what's not been done before
himself in the past.
Do you think Angie's tactics work in the league?
I think
Angie's tactics come in trophies. I think Angie's tactics come in trophies.
And I agreed I said at the very start before you did, and you called me out for it when I said he can win a cup with these tactics.
and I admitted he proved me wrong.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about just the cup. I'm saying, do you think his tactics are good enough for the league?
I don't care if we win trophies. I want trophies.
Yeah, but that's what you want. I'm talking about what I want. And I'm asking Manny, do you think his tactics are good enough for the Premier League?
No, I think the games that we've had in the Europa League, and then the game in isolations that we had in against Villarreal.
Fuck, mate, you're drifting. Forget the Europa League. Forget the
let me
cups.
answer.
Are
If you
these
want, no,
good enough
let me
for
answer.
38 Premier League games?
The problem with Spurs fans is that they think everything is linear. So let me answer the question that you've just asked, right?
It's a simple yes or no answer.
It's not a yes or no answer. He has literally adapted his tactics from the time we started playing Frankfurt all the way down. Then in the league, he adapted his tactics against Aston Villa. He didn't have the players.
No, he did not.
No, can I finish? He did not have the players to play that tactic. Because we literally played a second string team in order for him to literally be able to play his full team in the final.
What about the other 22 defeats? What about when he had a full team with Ipswich? What about when he had a full team basically bar a player with Crystal Palace?
What about when he had the full team when he played Manchester United? What about when he had the full team when he plays against Aston Villa at home? What about when he had the full
because
team
we played a different style, and then he goes back to Ange.
What about those teams when he goes back to
Ange and he gets screwed?
Are you going to just ignore it because it doesn't make your point? It makes
no sense. I picked him up every time that he won a gig.
You're trying to say
Manny down 1 minute. Right, you two, 1 second. Hold tight. I want to bring Matt in because he's been sitting here for half an hour, hasn't spoken, and Matt's always the calm, soothing voice in the Spurs community. We need more of that, if I'm honest with you. I'm just going to do a couple of super chats. Then Matt, I want to bring you back in. TJ says, "Let Alex cook. He'll uphold the standards." Alex has gone. There's your standards. Christian A, listen, big up Alex. I've told him to come back. There he is. Right, Alex, I'm going to bring you in after Matt, okay? Because I do want you to speak, bro. It's good to see you today.
No, I wasn't that fast because I was just arguing. But I needed to hear from Manny because I know he's chatting crap. I know Manny's chatting crap.
Before you want Manny up, let me do the super chats. Let me go to Matt, then you can wind him up.
Dan's doing my favour for me. He's doing it all for me. Sorry, but he's doing it all for me because he's chatting crap.
Maybe Dan's the mole. Dan's the Spurs mole. Big up to Christian. He says, big up everyone. LOL, never change Spurs fans. European trophy, and we're already arguing about the manager. Save the moment. It's only been 40 years. Sunila, big up. How you doing, bro? Good to see you a couple of weeks ago. I can't understand this. We haven't won a trophy for 17 years, and now we have won a trophy, a big trophy, and people are complaining about the last 18 months. Jamie, big up to you, bro, or lady. I don't know who this is. He was 5th in his first season. This shit season is a complete write-off. They are not paying for a better manager, so bad move when the team is behind him. So I'm guessing this means he's saying Ange in. Matt, listen, bro. I know this isn't your kind of flavor, everyone going at it and whatnot. You're more of a calm talker, right?
Yeah, he's the level-headed one. He's
very
level-headed and puts.
Mate, whenever I speak to him on the phone, right, I feel like I'm getting hypnotized. Okay, so honestly, it's a bit. Matt, listen, what do you think about this? Matt, I want you to be honest with me here. Do you think Ange Postecoglou should start next season as manager, or do you think no, bring in someone of a higher level, assuming we can get someone of a high level? Where are you at with Ange for us next season, Matt? What do you want to see? What do you want to see?
So, and what do you think Spurs are gonna do? That's what I'm
okay. So I think the challenge is if you get a higher caliber of manager, that's going to come with certain risks and rewards. The risks are the squad that we've got at the moment, the wages that we pay, it's going to make it difficult to attract the players that I think certain managers are going to need. So, for example, Unai Emery came in at Villa. Obviously, he came mid-season, so there wasn't a transfer window open at that time. He set up a blueprint, got his brother in. Villa allowed his brother to actually work through the academy, work through the system, implement his standards and his methods. And then when that transfer window opened, he was allowed to go into the transfer market pretty quickly. The challenge we've got at Spurs is even when we finished 5th last season, some will argue that was expected. Some will argue that was a poor end because we started the season quite well. We lowered the wage bill considerably. So I'm trying to figure out, how do Spurs progress to keep the fan base on side, keep us competitive, and also be in with a shout of winning trophies? Because this show tonight has demonstrated to me we're split. We're massively divided. You know, we've won a trophy on Wednesday night. If you go on certain shows, you would think we've lost. And this is, I'm not digging out any individual here, but if you did not know and you came from Mars and you put on Spurs YouTube channels on Thursday, on Friday, on yesterday, definitely today, you wouldn't know Spurs have won a trophy. Now, people might fly back and say, yeah, but it's only Europa League and it's we're 17th in the league. We've lost 20-something games. But for me, I just don't understand. The season has just finished. I'd rather focus on, one, we've won the Europa League.
Mm-hmm.
And two, what are we going to do in the transfer window? Number one, to bring in players. Number two, to let go players. We've still got players that should not be at this football club. Players like Ben Davies. We've got players on loan. Villiers hasn't kicked the ball for Espanyol.
Son should have been sold 2 years ago.
I would rather, for me personally, guys, spend more energy on that instead of someone trying to get the last word on an argument we can't decide.
Okay, Matt, quick question, what you're saying. Yeah. Quick question, what you're saying.
No, Dan, 1 minute. He hasn't answered the question. What do you want Ange? What do you want with Ange next season, to stay or go, Matt? Sorry, Danny. I just want to answer the question.
I think if you offered me Glasner tomorrow, I would say do the deal.
Why? Can I ask why?
Because I think he knows the league. I think he can work within the budgets that Levy's going to give him, and he will make us more competitive and more consistent in more competitions.
And he's got the team, and he's got the players. He's got the players that he can play to his system as well.
So what?
Just to go back to your point,
can I just ask him a question, quick, Alex? Just finish the question.
Dan, let me, because the thing is though, yeah, Dan, because I haven't really had a bite of a cherry. The point is though, yeah, right. I think to answer your question, he's not a coach. Ange Postecoglou, he ain't a coach, right? Okay, he clearly has not coached this team, right? Because if he coached this team, we would not had 21 losses. We would not had 21 losses, right? Okay, I'd take offence when people say, right, the other managers failed. Pochettino didn't fail. He got this team, right, and did best what he had, right, when he had to be at Wembley for how many years, right? He didn't use excuses. Yes, he failed in the cups when it mattered. Yes, but let's be honest here, right? He turned things into gold. Ange, right, in the last 2 years, yeah, may have got a trophy, but I argue the point, right? That Europa League, not beating Roma, not beating Rangers in the group stage, not beating Galatasaray, beating below our average teams that we should be beating in the league, right? Right, and then getting through Alkmaar and getting through just Frankfurt when they didn't have Mamouche, right? Bodo Glimt were always beating, which I said already to everybody, and we're always beating Man United just because it was going to be a shit game. We were going to get through it. Yeah, doesn't show this manager is still a good manager. Yes, he can get a cup, like Danny says, but we need somebody that can coach these players, right? You don't need class players right now. You can get players and you can make them look good. He's shown that already, right? If you get a player that is worth his salt, right? And put them in a squad and make them into a good team, right? Coach them to what they are, drill them. You can still do really well in the league. Brighton proved it. Bournemouth have proved it. Nottingham Forest have proved it.
They've all won nothing.
Nothing.
Well, it doesn't matter whether they've won nothing. They
And there's the problem. And there's the problem. It doesn't matter that they win nothing. That is the loser Spursy way for the last 25 years, Alex.
The only reason why he's had the chance to do that is because he left the league, right? We weren't in relegation trouble, right? Okay. And that's the only reason why he had the luxury of doing that, because if we were relegation candidates right now, which, let's be honest here, we would have been relegated in any other season with 38 points.
That's not true, Alex. That's not true.
No, it's not. No, that is true. That is true, because if you look at the history, if you look at the history, no, we're not doing this. If you look at history in other seasons, 40 points was the
past
total
5
to get
seasons. You've survived.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Steve. No, it doesn't matter, Steve. It doesn't matter, because if you're going to start doing that, no, but it doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter though, Steve. Yeah, there's still a standard. There is still a standard.
I get that.
Yeah. But still, 38 points. In the past, how many? We're not going to do this the last 5 years. I don't care.
Poch spent the same money as Ange and won fuck all, and he had 5 years. But hey, that's not.
Yeah, but he did it in 5 years, bruv. He did.
Yeah, exactly. He had more time, and he won nothing.
Yeah, but he did it in 5 years. And look at the trouble he had. He had to be in Wembley for 2 years.
Alex, he spent the same money as Ange. And that was before inflation of what prices are today.
He was in Wembley for 2 years.
He had better players.
Alex, okay, the first 3 years at Spurs, he won nothing. Ange did it in 2.
Yep, but he was at Wembley for 2 years, bro. Well. He brought up Harry Kane. He brought up Dele Alli. He brought up Dembele, who's our best midfielder, by the way. He brought up bloody Alderweireld.
And they won nothing. Right? Yeah, all these brilliant players who won nothing.
Rose. He brought up bloody Tripper. He brought up loads of other players as well.
And they won nothing.
What's Ange done? What did Ange do then?
He won a trophy.
Yeah? He won a trophy, yes, but like I said...
What do you mean, yeah, but yes? That's what it's about.
He made them better players.
Why, Alex? Okay, can I ask a question then? Just because my brain can't compute. Why do you develop players? For what purpose?
To make them better.
To make them better to achieve what?
To achieve trophies, yeah.
He didn't do that bit.
Winner.
But we were still up in the lead, though, bro. He was
winning nothing, Alex. Winning nothing.
Consistent, though. He was consistent in the lead, though, bro.
So consistently failing, but being top of the league is success in your eyes.
He still got to finals, though, bro. It's no disrespect.
Yeah, and he lost them.
He lost them, Alex.
Yeah, he still lost them. Yeah, but he's still.
All I'm saying, that same energy that you have for he's won a trophy, as bad as the previous 25 years is, under the chairman that hired him to win a trophy is Daniel Levy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Can I just say, in a cup final in Europe, Poch decided to start with Winks and Sissoko in midfield. He decided to start a busted Harry Kane and drop Lucas Moura. Whereas Ange played the best players available in the right fucking position in the final. So you can defend Poch as much as you like, but he made mistakes that cost us games as well. And when it mattered, he didn't.
Yeah, and so Levy,
how do you defend that?
How do you defend that? A Levy sympathizer can use that excuse and now say, okay, everybody's happy, right? We won a European title, right? Check. We hit the objective. We won a trophy. Check. So next year, please, fans, no protests, because I'm giving you what you wanted.
No, Murray. See, you're do you know what? I'm going to repeat myself again. Murray.
So, you know me. I can't stand the guy. But what can I say? It's delivered.
You say, deliver another 4 or 5 trophies, and then we'll get off your back.
No,
justify the 25 years of impairment. He hasn't delivered. Murray, he hasn't delivered. He's delivered the minimum requirement. No, he hasn't. He's delivered the minimum requirement, which is 2 trophies.
And you saw the reaction. And you saw the reaction. People go nuts.
Because we haven't had that in 20 years. We haven't experienced it. Did you see the Newcastle parade? Did you see the Newcastle parade when they won it? Because they haven't had that in 60 years. That's what fans do when they're deprived. Murray, if you don't eat food for a month and suddenly I give you chicken, steak, lobster, caviar, Murray, you're gonna fucking party like you've never partied before, right?
If you give me water, thank you. But our fan base.
But the same man who starved you for a month, you want me to forget? No, he starved me, which is why. And I'm not going to praise. I'm not going to praise the man that gave me dinner after he starved me for a month. That's not how it works.
It took him 25 years to finally feed you, so you finally got it. You got food.
But I got starved for 25 years. Do you know what this is like saying? This is like saying your girlfriend. She goes around having sex with every other bloke for 25 years, but 1 year she's faithful. Give her some respect, man. Respect this girl, man. She didn't shag anyone else for 1 year, but the other 24 years she's gone around getting STDs from everyone and passing it on to you. Come on, man. What are we doing?
And can I get Illmatic? Because Illmatic's been going on with me about, okay, Illmatic, great. You know what? I'll be fine with Carabao Cups all my rest of my life and FA Cups all the rest of my life. Fault me for wanting more. I'm not saying that I want to finish top 4 every year. I just
Murray. Okay, what do you want then? What do you see?
I want Illmatic to understand that I want the best coach to set us up to win the fucking league. All right.
Right. Okay, Murray. Okay, brother. Right. So
listen. The Champions League and the Premier League is the two trophies that will make me listen. Is in my pants. It is that 10. It's that 9. I'm sorry, Illmatic, that you like 6s and 5s. Great. All right.
No, Punch is a 6.
In my life, I've been shagging 8, 9s, and 10s. So forgive me that I'm not attracted to a 6 or 7 or a person that doesn't have ambition. I'm sorry. In my life, I go for it big, and I want to win big. All right.
Murray, okay. No, I love you saying this, okay? Murray,
because I'm leaving out 100%. I'm just saying because people want the bare minimum in this club, they're happy. So then
I don't want the bare minimum, Murray. I don't want the bare minimum, Murray.
Illmatic,
oh my god,
Illmatic, like Nas, right? Because you got Illmatic. Listen, from the rapper Nas, I'm bringing the ether. Mic drop.
Murray, no. I'm going to give you the mic drop. Yeah. If you want the 9s and 10s, you need one of two things: either a massive penis, right, a big king ding-a-ling, or you need a Ferrari, a Versace shoe, VIP entrance to the club, champagne, and that costs money and investment. So for us to win the league and get the 8s and 9s out of 10s, right? Levy needs to change. So when you say to me, you know, we've got to relax on Levy. No, because I want the 10 out of 10. But for me to get that, I need to buy the Ferrari. Because if you look at every Murray, one minute. If you look at every team that's won the league, look at the players they've signed. Then look at what we signed. We will never win a league title unless this board says no more to Timo, to Odebert, to Tell, to Operation Youth, Operation Kid, Operation Danjuma, Operation, Kinski. No. And they say, we're going to buy Eze, Mbeumo, Mitoma. Then we can have the conversation. But that's not down to the manager. Conte couldn't persuade them. Jose couldn't persuade them. Poch couldn't persuade them. No manager has been able to persuade this board to fix up. So it doesn't matter who we bring in, because if Glasner comes, maybe he wins an FA Cup, maybe he doesn't. But he ain't going to get us a league title. No chance. Levy can win us the league title.
Do you believe I'm saying this out of, I believe in him, or I'm saying it out of frustration? Do you honestly think I'm leaving him? Do you honestly?
I don't know. I just get upset when you tell me that I need to back Levy, man. It makes my blood boil.
Because keeping Ange is basically accepting the bare minimum. So I give up. I'm leaving neutral.
Let me ask you all a question, guys. Let me ask you all a question, right? Let me ask you all an honest question here, right? This is to everyone on the show. In Ange's first season, right, he got 5th place without Harry Kane. The first manager not to have Harry Kane. Yes, he only had 1 game a week, but a very average squad. It wasn't nothing great, but it was okay. He got us 5th. Maybe he should have got 4th. Maybe he could have got 6th. In his first season, he improved us in the league and he got us back into Europe. He got us into the competition that he's now won. He qualified for that competition to win it. In the second season, shit show in the league. Absolute disaster. And then he went for this high-risk strategy of, I ain't going to win the league. The best I'm going to get is probably 8th. But I've got to get out. And the get out is, I must win that Europa. That is my get out of jail card. And he fucking pulled it out the bag. Whether Man United were in the same position. Amorim, the league's fucked. I've got to win the Europa. You know what? It's us or them. He won. They failed. They're fucked. We've caught life. So based on that, is it possible that this manager can prove us wrong again? When we said the best will get his top 6, he got 5th. When we said he ain't winning nothing, okay, Dan said he could win a trophy. The rest of us said, come on, man, this guy ain't winning shit. He won something. Is it possible that if he's given some decent players and he stops inverting the fullbacks and he is a bit more flexible because he's shown he can be, but he just doesn't do it enough, that maybe he can do something a bit more? Does that world exist, guys? Is that forget whether you think it will happen, is it a possibility? That's what I'm asking. Because for me, the answer is yes, which is why I want to give him the start of the season. But if after 10 games I haven't seen it, he must go. What's your thinking on that? Can he?
I will speak very quickly.
You go first. I want everyone to just have a chat on that.
I will go so that I can.
I know most of the chat's going to say no, and I'm a flip flop, and I'm a piece of shit. But
thanks so much. 100%, and that's exactly my point. That's like when I'm pulling people up saying people said he can't win and he won. It's not because I want to goad about it, because it makes no sense. We're all Spurs fans. We all celebrated and we all want the best for the club. The point I'm trying to make is that a lot of people believed he couldn't do it and he's done it. Whether we want Ange in or Ange out, we all agree that we need to be able to improve the squad with good players. That's what Matthew was saying earlier on about our energy. Whether Ange is going to be there, whether another manager is going to be there, the squad needs improvement. But from my point of view, 100%. You give this, he's proven that he can win trophies, this manager. He's proven that he can be 5th. When people were saying that we're going to finish 8th and 9th because we've lost Kane, we've give this guy some experienced players to complement the young players and young backs that he bought at the start of in the middle of last season. This guy will get us in the top 6, as you guys have said, and challenge for a trophy. 100%.
So, Manny, yeah. When you say Harry Kane, that is wrong. That is wrong. Because we lost Harry Kane from the start of the summer when he said he was leaving. So don't start this narrative about Harry Kane again.
Alex, my point is.
No,
Dietrich, let Alex finish. You just come in and cut him up.
Don't interrupt the main event. The main event's still speaking.
My point is, don't forget.
Dietrich, let him finish.
No, we're not doing this, right? Because this is always your answer. You lied on Royal Tottenham TV because you did say this. You did say this, right?
Alex.
No. Don't deflect.
Let me just reply to you.
How is he deflected if he hasn't responded?
Do not backtrack. Do not backtrack.
I'm not
backtrack. You are. I love this guy. He's my kryptonite.
Spurs have a money.
I love this guy.
The parade was an illusion. Bilbao was a myth.
We are Tottenham TV because they knew what they were doing with this guy.
By the way, for the chat,
Still, can I
have
go
nothing
next?
against that. I absolutely love the guy, right?
Yeah.
Listen,
No, we love each
I'm
other.
not saying
Oh,
that
look,
we
now
didn't
they're
know
fucking best mates.
I didn't say that we didn't know that Kane was leaving, but whose job is it to replace Kane knowing that he's leaving? It's not Ange's job. He hasn't got the purse. So in the end, he dealt with he dealt with the cards that he was dealt with. He was the one who had to manage the team without the player that literally dug out a lot of the managers that have gone in the past. And the last thing I'll say before I leave, sorry, Stelios, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh yeah, but Poch," and I have not. Obviously, I absolutely love Poch, but Poch is also the other person
He's
who
a failure.
decided to go out in the Europa League to Ghent, home and away, because he was focusing on finishing in the top 4. So that mentality has been in our club for a very long time.
Yeah,
League
hold that.
above everything
Hold
else.
that.
The whole point is, no. We 100% we have to be up there in the league, but we need to be able to challenge for trophies. And this manager has done one in one season, and he has focused on the other in the other season. Give him some time and see, and some players, and see he will be able to do.
Manny. Can I ask you a question quickly? Can I ask you a question? You say if he gets his players.
Manny,
wait, no, Alex.
I'll speak to you later, guys.
Dietrich is next. Dietrich is next.
Yeah.
No, I'll see you lot later. I'll see you lot later. You're coming on my channel again, Manny. I'm
100%.
See you later.
Sorry, guys. I need to drop. My little one is awake. So
Andy,
I've got
as well. Dietrich, I've got one super
Yeah.
chat. I've got one super chat. Then it's you, right? Big up to. Oh, no, I did this already. Sorry, I did that one already. No, this one here it is. Big up to Artist T, Brother Mari. I'm not Anjin. I'm on the same boat as Stel. By sacking Ange, we're starting from zero again. Not all managers will pull an Arnie slot and win in season number 1.
Oh,
big up to Artists. Right, Dietrich's.
Yeah. First of all, First of all, I want to say good evening, everyone. Steve, I miss you. Matthew, Dan, Mari, Stal, how are you? First of all, I want to say, Stal, you're a freaking flip-flop, but that's beside the point.
Why am I flip-flop? Can you explain?
Okay. First of all, I told you from the start we'll win the Europa, and you told me I'm fucking insane. And look what happened.
Yeah, and I put my hands up on tonight's show and I said, I was proven wrong.
No, that's fair. I respect that. I respect that about you. You hold your hands up. I respect it. But then you say, let's give him time because it's not ethical to sack him after winning a trophy.
I never said ethical. I never said it's ethical. I never used the word ethical. I never said that.
No, like, I'm saying ethical now. Let me speak.
Yeah, but you're talking about me. Can I explain again? The reason I want Ange to stay is because he proved me wrong, won a trophy, and on that basis, I think he deserves a chance to prove me wrong again.
Oh, did he spend almost? Did he spend almost 400 million? Let's say 300 million, roughly.
Yes.
In 3 windows. How can we give him another window, probably like almost 200 million? We're gonna give him most likely
because he won a trophy when every other manager couldn't.
I don't care. He won a trophy. Good for him. Good. But not next season. Next season we're gonna start from zero, and he's shown that he's not serious in the cups. He's not serious in the league, and the only way he took seriously the Europa is because we got it in the knockout stage. But if you look specifically during the group stage, we're playing chaotic football, and we're struggling against Karabakh and French Pharaohs and all those teams.
We lost all struggling.
We were struggling. We were struggling. We were struggling, which is fair.
We came second from top in the group stage.
No, we were not second.
Yes, we were.
No, we weren't.
Lazio was top. Athletic Club was second. Eintracht Frankfurt, I believe, was third.
Manu was higher than us.
Leon was
Where were we in the group stage?
We're top 8. Was fourth.
Yeah, Manu.
Tottenham was fourth. Tottenham came fourth.
Yeah, fourth, which is but it's by luck. We lost against Galatasaray. We lost against those teams.
Oh, no, so it's luck. It's luck that we came fourth after 8 games. It's all luck.
Yeah, no, it is. I'll tell you why. Now, the fact that he never even took those games seriously, Karabakh, French Pharaohs and stuff, that's my issue with him. I just want a manager that can play some good football.
He won those games, Dietrich. How do you not take it seriously?
Well, it doesn't matter if you won those games. At the end of the day, we're a top team. We should be battering those teams. We should. I'm not expecting a 5-0, but like not struggle against Karabakh. Not struggle against Karabakh and then we're missing open nets. Like I don't want that. I want a manager that can play balance and can be attacking at the same time. And he's not. He's shown that he doesn't want to. I don't like a manager that's too stubborn, that doesn't take anything seriously. I don't like that about him. And he always contradicts himself.
Winning the Europa isn't taking it seriously.
Well, because like the league was done and we're not going to get relegated. That's why he took it seriously.
Oh, so he does take it
reason.
Calculated.
So he does take things seriously.
It was a calculated move. Everything was calculated, but he didn't do it. It's not like he decided from the beginning, I'm going to win the Europa.
If you calculate something, is
no, it's like it's not
taking it seriously as well.
No, but like it's towards the end. It's not like from the beginning he said, I'm going to take the Europa seriously.
But
I'm
he
going to take the FA Cup.
He took it seriously. He came fourth in the group. Out of 36 teams, he came fourth.
No, but that's fine. Finishing fourth, that's fine. But at the end of the day, were the performance, are you going to say they were good? No. And that's why you were agile too. Everyone was agile in this battle.
So your issue is his performances you didn't like?
No, my issue is his performances, his lies, his stubbornness. That's my issue with him. I just want a balanced manager. And when I say balance, I want a Glasner, someone that can actually take a team from average to good. Or even better, and look what he did with Crystal Palace. That's what I want to see. Those group of players we have, they should not be struggling against those French rivals and like having 22 losses. I don't care about the No, I don't care. Yeah, because did we play chaotic football? No. But why can you not do that in the league?
My question is, did they struggle against Frankfurt?
First game, yes.
First game was 1-1. We had the better chances.
We did struggle. We did struggle.
We hit the bar 3 times. How did we struggle?
And we were getting cooked on Porosan, and he still didn't manage to just tweak that issue. He didn't do that.
That game at White Hart Lane was a 50-50 game, right?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't still.
Oh, yes, it was. Go look at the stats.
The one I can say like you.
And we missed a header in the last minute. Frankfurt had 2 counterattacks. They boshed up. Overall, in that game, when we played Frankfurt first leg...
But they did hit the bar too. Frankfurt did hit the bar.
Go look at the stats. Yeah, they hit the post. Go look at the stats. We edged them, but it was a 50-50. In Frankfurt, we beat them. We all said we beat them. Help us in Frankfurt. Right,
but
so therefore, well, I'm challenging you because you're saying things that can be challenged, and I want to hear what your answer is.
No, because I'm not even done. No, I'm not even done with what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, how about we can play this way against Frankfurt, the way we played against Bodo Glimt, the way you play against Man U. Why can you not translate that in the FA Cup, in the League Cup, or in the Prem? That's all I'm asking him to do. Be sometimes pragmatic. Don't be like so stubborn about your ways. That's all I'm asking him to do. But I know he's not going to do that. And I know I'm going to see other Brennan Johnsons or other Timo Werners. I'm going to see Matthias Tell's side. He's a yes man.
You don't know that. You don't know. We're guessing. We don't know.
Still, come on. We've been fans for almost. I've been a fan for almost 10 years. We know what's going to happen.
So this is okay.
And with him, you know what? You know we're going to sign Matthias Tell.
If he signs Matthias Tell, that's not an experienced player that Ange said he now wants. So that goes against what he said.
But you see that, but if it goes against what he says, he should walk away, like Conte did. But he's not going to do that.
For him to walk away, he needs to keep the job in order to walk away.
No, but if he keeps but if he keeps the job. If he keeps the job, I don't want him to say he just said I want experienced players and we want some Tells other unproven youngsters. I don't want that. And if he accepts it, then he's a part of the problem too.
Right, but now see what we're doing now as a fan base, right? What we're doing now as a fan base is we're now all guessing what we think is going to happen. We're guessing on transfers. We're guessing on what Ange is going to do tactically. We're guessing on who will stay, who will go. The reality is, one minute. The reality is, if we go by history, the evidence says Levy isn't going to back him. We are going to get a very average summer window, and Ange will be sacked by October. That's history tells us that. History has told us that
History
for the
also
last 20
says,
years.
History also says this is the type of football that Ange plays. History shows on Thursday Thursday when I have my injury show, because all those people use the injuries as an excuse. Oh, I'm bringing facts from Opta, BBC, the English Standard, the Irish, the Scotland newspapers, whatever. I have about 5 articles. I've been working on this because everybody want to use the injuries. It's going to be an issue next season. Watch when we play Champions League and League. It's going to be an issue.
Look, I know, because you won a trophy, you want to defend him, which is fair. But like now, you've been a bit deluded. You know what's gonna happen. He even said it. He even said it.
Okay. Do you know who else you called deluded? Do you know who else you called deluded?
Who?
Go on, tell us who else you called deluded, and we'll see how that worked out for you. Go on.
Well, I called everyone that was Ange out and not turned into Ange.
Who did you call deluded all of last season? The same person I called deluded. Go on, think carefully.
No, who I actually don't know.
Sim. We called him deluded for saying keep Ange for the Europa and see if he can win it. And look what happened.
Yes.
Egg on our faces.
Yes.
So I've now got to go on that channel in front of 180,000 subscribers and apologize because that's the bet I made.
Why should you apologize?
Careful who you call deluded, man. Because
no,
got big.
Why? Yes. No. Why apologize to Sim?
Stel, you called me deluded
because I said to Sim, if Ange wins the Europa, I will come on and apologize to you because you're the most deluded person in the fan base. How did that work out?
Remember when I told you last summer we were talking on WhatsApp?
You did the same thing, Dietrich.
Stel, remember when you told me? Yeah. No, I was just saying. Remember when I texted you in the summer? I think Crystal Palace will win the FA Cup, and you called me deluded.
Yeah. Thank God I didn't bet you as well.
Wait, didn't we make a bet, you and me, that we're gonna win? I said we're gonna win the Europa.
You owe me about 3 chicken shawarmas already, Dietrich, the bets we've made.
Well, I'm gonna choke on one of them, please.
Dietrich, I think next season there's a high chance that you and Mari and Danny are all going to be right. I think come end of October, I'm going to be sitting here getting rinsed by everyone again because I tried to defend Ange after cutting him for the last year. But for me, I just feel what he's brought to this club and do you know, it is the coldest flex in football to say, I don't usually win in my second season. I always win. And to fucking do it. Do you know how cold that is? Right?
I don't think it's cold. I just think he got lucky.
Oh, he got lucky. He's done it his whole career, right?
No, he got lucky. He actually got lucky.
Fine. Call it luck. When Spurs lose, we're bottle jobs. When Spurs win, we're lucky. I just think, based on what he's done, he deserves to prove us wrong. He deserves to say, fuck you one more time. Now, I think Mari, Dietrich, I think you guys will probably end up being right. And I mean that. I'm not trying to be
because like I'm just asking Stel, look.
I think you'll be right. I think history says you two are going to be right. But you know what? What if it is different this time? Just what if at some point it has to change? At some point, this club has to change.
Still, I'll explain you why I want him sacked. We're at our highest. We're in the Champions League. No. We're in the Champions League. We won a trophy. Now is the perfect moment to reset, get a new manager. Paratici is going to come back. And that's when you just like kick off and you go to the next level. Like now is the perfect moment. Not go all the way like all the times with Mourinho and Conte. We're in our lowest and then we start again. But you can get the good players this time. And Ange, I'm sorry, like no good defender is going to want to come to Spurs with Ange at the wheel. Nobody.
All right. I get your reason.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
I think 90% of fans agree with you, bro. I've done a poll here. I've got a poll running. But just so you know, I want to bring Ellie in. She hasn't been on the show in about 2 years, and I really want her to speak. Right?
Okay,
Ellie, one second.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Let me read out the poll. The poll is Ange in or out. 17% of our poll says Ange in. 17% says give him the start of next season. 65% are Ange out, and we had 200 votes. So most people agree with you, Dietrich. I'm in the minority. I'm getting fucking roasted, man.
Last thing, I just want to hear your opinion on this one. Let's say Glasner walks away, and Ange is and we still have Ange. Would you sack Ange and go and get Glasner, or you will still stick with Ange?
Say that again. If what happens
if Glasner walks away this summer? Let's say he walks away
from where? Oh, he leaves from Crystal Palace.
Yeah, he leaves Crystal Palace, and we still have Ange. You as a let's say if you were Levy, would you sack Ange and go get Glasner?
I want Ange to start as manager next season. I want him to be given a chance to start as manager of next season.
I heard the bill.
I don't know what halabilila means. I don't even know.
No, it means like may God protect you. May God protect you.
Some kind of Canadian hip hop. All right, Ellie, listen, the Queen is here. The Queen is here. Let the Queen speak. Ellie, listen. We were in Bilbao. You speak. Go on, you speak.
No, I was going to say we can start speaking Greek and confuse the whole lot of them.
Start talking Greek. Ellie, we've won a Europa Cup. We've won a Europa Cup. We haven't experienced this in such a long time. There's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of thinking. There's a lot going on with this fan base. Very, very quickly, we've gone to, on most YouTube channels, a full-blown Ange out debate, argument. Yeah. Where are you with it, Ellie? You've been around the game long enough. You've seen it all. Yeah. You've played the game for the Spurs ladies. You know your shit. What do you make of this, and what do you want to see happen now?
What I see, there's a lot of sense in our fan base, right? But there's quite a lot of bumberies as well. What I mean by that is that there's a lot of flip-flopping because we've won the Europa Cup. A lot of people that were Ange out are now giving him a chance because they want to see what he can do. But you know what? We've seen what he can do in the league, which is not very good this season. And we've seen what he did in the league last season when he finished 5th and he could have finished higher. If only, like Dan says, he adapted and played more like that European style that he played. All right? But that's not Ange's way. His way is to attack. But what I've seen this season is not attack. What I've seen is we've been under the cosh a lot. And we've lost a lot of games with naivety from Ange. That's my opinion. And also, I find that Ange, right, obviously he's quite a strong character, isn't he? He's very stubborn and he wants to play his style, all right? But in the Premiership still, right, there's teams out there that will crucify you if you play that high line, right? And this high press, high reward. But it wasn't high. High press didn't lead us to reward until we got into the Europa League, right? And then he started playing more pragmatic. And that way he was more successful. So you would have thought that he would have transferred that to the league form, to the way that we played in the league. And he didn't. Most of the time he didn't, unless he was forced to. Like when we played against Man City, everybody must agree on this panel. They put us under the cosh. The first 20 minutes, they could have been 3 or 4-0 up easily. But Haaland missed a lot of chances. And we were forced on the back foot. It wasn't like he was saying that we're going to play a low block, because we didn't really go into a low block. We were inverting. Udogie was coming forward. Was it Udogie or was it the Spence who played that? No, it was Udogie, wasn't it? Right? So he didn't really adapt in that game either, in my opinion. So he didn't do enough adapting in the league to get us to a sensible position in the league. Because the league is your bread and butter. True, isn't it, lads? It's your bread and butter. You've got to do well in the league, right? But I'm on board with you as well, still, because I've been putting in your chat, the game is about glory. We've won a trophy. Let's celebrate it, lads, because it might not come around for another 20 years, especially Levy in charge, because he's all words, Levy. He doesn't deliver on what he says. We all know this, all right? So we've got to take a step back and say, are we going to go forward with Ange, or are we going to get like a really, really good coach in Glasner? Because I'm Ange out. I really am. Because I believe Glasner, what I've seen, what he's done at Palace is remarkable. He's won them the FA Cup and he's made them really credible in the league, and they play nice, attractive football, sensible as well.
Good counter.
Where did Palace finish in the league, guys? I don't know. Where did they finish in the league?
Palace finished 12th.
They finished 12th. Respectable. It's respectable.
For a small club.
Between 10 and 15, don't they? Palace. That's their calling. 10 to 15.
They finished 12th for like the past 3 years in a row.
Yeah, but look at their team. They have such a small squad.
He's won them the cup, and like you said, Stel,
they lost Elise, their best player. Remember, they lost Elise, their best player.
And Mateta was injured.
You tell those Palace fans, you take away their FA Cup and give them a 12th every season. What are they going to take? I'm sure they're going to take that FA Cup. Like us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, because
our fans want to be high up in the league, Ellie. We're different. We want to be high up in the league and challenge for it.
Of course we do. And that's why I think
it's a different
we go ahead with a better coach.
Supposedly big club.
We're only a big club because we've won trophies.
No, stop. I just want to answer something.
They tell me.
I just want to answer something quickly. I honestly couldn't
we're
care
only
less.
A big club because we've been trophies, guys. It's the only reason we're big.
No, I couldn't care less where we finished in the league. Honestly, I couldn't care less. I just don't like the way we lost the games, the way we folded. That's the only thing I didn't like.
Yeah,
but if we finished low and won our cup, it's fine. But 22 losses for me is inexcusable.
Dietrich. But in the sorry, Stal, I was just gonna make this point, probably on your behalf. You did lose some of those games when the pressure, but in the final of the Europa League against Manchester United, who were the favorites, you didn't fold. So in the biggest moment that Postecoglou had at Spurs, the biggest game where his whole thing is on the line, his team didn't fold.
No, I give him props on that. I give him props.
I get the other games.
Yeah, it just made the league 22 losses is inexcusable.
You guys have
been,
like that's
and also
the Liverpool Anfield game. But in the biggest one, you didn't.
And also, I'd like to add, Postecoglou, I've heard you say this as well, Stel, but I heard it as well, right? He played all the players, all the messages from their families before the game. So they realise that they're doing it for their families. They're doing it for their kids. They're doing it for their mums, dads, grandpas. He put it in their head. So they go out on that pitch and they don't lose the match. Because Manchester United are a juggernaut in terms of winning trophies. They've been shit for the last 3 seasons, and they've got two over the line, and they also got
the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. So they're a juggernaut, and we beat a juggernaut in winning trophies. They're the second most winning club in England.
In England, yeah.
Yes, and we beat them. That's no mean feat.
So you're making the case. So Ellie, you're making the case to keep Ange then?
No, I'm not. I'm saying that he did the right thing on that moment, but I don't think he's good enough to progress us in the league. And if we want to be
can I ask you a question? Right? Does anyone remember the FA Cup final this year?
Yes.
How many attacks did Crystal Palace have in that game?
3.
3.
And who sat back for 90% of the game and just defended for their lives?
Palace.
Yeah, they did.
So Glasner did exactly what Ange did. He did exactly what Ange did.
Yeah, but then we went. Yeah, but then we went to Man City, beat them 4-0. So like, you don't have to sit back every game. It's just Crystal Palace has a weaker squad.
When it matters, they use the exact same strategy to win.
Okay, but why did they not use that against Liverpool in the semi-final, in the second leg? Why didn't we?
Because we were never winning at Anfield, no matter who, no matter.
No,
what.
that's not a good excuse. That's not a good excuse, though.
No, it's not. 3 wins
it's not
in
a good
100
excuse.
years.
Come on.
3 wins in 100 years. Poch never won there. Conte
I'm not saying
never won
win.
there.
You had to draw. You had to
And
draw.
just
No
the
win.
Messiah.
You had to
No,
draw.
no, he's the Messiah.
You were never going to draw. You were
Uncle
never
Down.
going to draw at Anfield.
We did draw in the
No,
past in Anfield.
You guys are mad. Leading
No,
up to
you're
that game,
mad.
I said,
No, you're mad.
leading up to that game, leading up to that game. No, Murray, you say that, but you forget what we said on our channel. Leading up to that game, I said we will go to that stadium, and as soon as when you walk through, as soon as that plays, we will shit ourselves. And that's exactly what we did.
But that's not Edge prepared that team in that second leg.
Murray, no Spurs team ever shows cojones up there. It's the one ground.
That's not
It's like Stamford Bridge. It's hell.
Matthew,
winning the Europa Cup. Winning the Europa Cup is the mentality. All right. So because because we lost to Anfield, it's shit. We're just shit because we lost that.
Forest with an Anfield.
And what competition are Forest in next season?
Well, they're in the Europa League. Good luck to them. They might.
They're in the Conference League. They didn't get Europa. We outdid them. Good. Well done for getting. Look, guys, I'll be honest with you. Even if we beat Liverpool at Anfield, I reckon Newcastle would have smoked us in the Carabao Cup final.
No, you reckon, but you don't know. You're guessing.
Joe Linton, Isak, Ramirez, Tonali, bro, they were firing that final.
You guessing?
Anfield would have got smoked.
Bro.
Pape would have got chewed alive.
You're guessing still.
Bissouma would have got bullied. We got bullied by Newcastle twice, but we ain't gonna win that final.
Yeah.
Our best performances this year was in the Carabao Cup because we had to play Nottingham Forest, we had to play Chelsea, we had to play Liverpool, we had to play Arsenal.
Yeah.
And in pretty much all of those games, we were not perfect, but very close to it. Those have been our best performances. And in the final, that was our best performance of them all.
No, that's fine, but it's still a 50-50 game at the end of the day. Even if you might be playing well.
I get that, but what I'm saying is that if it was Spurs in the Carabao Cup, I would be much more confident. I didn't think we
just like Man U, and then we beat them, so you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true.
But one thing,
it's not crazy what Stell is saying.
But one thing I just wanted to say last thing. You see AC Milan.
We lost Newcastle twice this year, man. Twice we lost.
And also, we're far better than Manchester United.
Yeah, I know, 100%.
We are.
But if you look,
we smoked them twice. We
beat Arsenal 4-0 in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Arsenal couldn't even score against them, and we're talking about if Liverpool, we're going to go and beat Newcastle. Bro.
Still, the way you say, he won a trophy, let's keep it.
Eddie Howe's been there for 3 years, man. He's built a good team. They're a good team.
Look at AC Milan, for example. Conceição won 2 trophies, and now he's getting sacked.
No, just one.
Oh, one. Sorry, one. He won 1 trophy, and now he's getting sacked.
Who's getting sacked?
Conceição at AC Milan. He's getting sacked. He won a trophy.
A Super Cup is not good enough for AC Milan.
Yeah, but same with us. We won a trophy.
We're not AC Milan, bro. AC Milan is the juggernaut. We're not AC Milan.
Yeah,
no, but we can't be.
No,
but you can't be AC.
Super Cup is not the way.
No, I'm saying you can be like AC Milan if you get a proper manager.
No. We can't be like AC Milan unless Daniel Levy changes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. At the end of the day, unless Levy wants to start paying wages of 150k upwards and spend the budget on 3 top players instead of 8 players, we will never, ever be an AC Milan. It's down to this board to change their behaviour, not change the manager. The best thing your manager will do for Spurs is get us top 4. That's the best they'll ever achieve in new manager. If you
Yeah.
want to win the league, and you want to win the Champions League, you need the board to change their behaviour.
Yeah,
Facts.
I agree.
I'm watching the next goal.
We have got quite a few players over 150,000.
Let's go Pacers.
Like Madison gets 170, Bernard gets 165, Sonny gets 190 something. So we've got quite a few players on £150,000 or more. I think it's 5 in total.
Ellie, if you look at Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, all the teams in the top four, right? 70% of their players are on 100k or more. Tottenham, 70% of our players are below 100k.
Yeah, we're paying too much for shit, aren't we?
and we're not paying enough to attract the best players. Listen, the reason we got Solanke is because he's on 70k a year.
Yeah.
The reason we got Johnson is he's on what? What's he on? 60, 70k?
I think Johnson's on 110.
Okay, he might be one of the ones on 100 over, but most of our signings, like Bergvall, he's on about 80,000. You know, Van der Ven's on 40 grand a year. Van der Ven.
40 grand, I know.
That's crazy.
Udogi's not on a lot of money.
A week, 40,000 a week.
So listen to this conversation, and we're talking about we want Tottenham to be AC Milan. What planet are we on?
No,
what planet?
We can't be like them unless Levy starts.
No, we can. We actually can. Look at Fofana was sold for 20 million. We can't be like them.
It takes years to get to their level.
Dietrich, AC Milan haven't come close to winning a European trophy in decades, mate. Because they don't have the money anymore. They don't have the money. At the end of the day, we need to invest.
With them, Stal, they've actually spent a good amount of
they spent a lot of money.
2017, they had the Chinese owners. They bought Suso. They had Bonucci.
They lost to Inter. Actually, they lost into the Champions League.
They spent poorly. They spent horribly. And then they had the year with Pioli where they actually did get it right.
They
with
beat Napoli in the Champions League a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They almost went to the final. They lost in the semis to Inter.
Yeah.
We spent horribly as well.
They were close.
You see, we're really similar from AC. We just can be better. This is what I'm saying. Like
AC Milan have won like 5 European Cups, like Champions Leagues. They've won how many league titles have they won? AC Milan is a juggernaut in Italian football.
AC Milan have 19 league titles and 7 Champions Leagues.
They won
7 Champions Leagues they've won.
Listen, man. At the end of the day, I love the fact.
Okay, wait. Do you trust Ange in the Champions League next year? Do you trust him? Because we're gonna get kicked, or we're gonna get absolutely embarrassed by Real Madrid.
Wait. That's Dietrich. That's a good segue into what I want to see. So I have stuff. You want to do the share screen? All right,
Steve, I'll bring it up. We'll do 2 super chats, then we'll do what Steve is asking for.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong one. All right, Jamie, big up to you. I think he's from Canada or she's from Canada.
Yeah, Canada,
One cup win shouldn't erase 18 months of bad soccer, in my opinion. Look, Jamie, 100%. Most fans agree with you. Agree with you. So
we just don't agree with him and Danny, 2 Greeks.
All right. So
I just like to remind you the first manager to win a trophy for Tottenham is Greek. In your face.
Oh fuck. Oh shit.
In your face. Hold that. Hold it. Don't fuck with the Greeks, Dietrich. Don't fuck with the Greeks, man.
Steve, make it bigger, please.
Yeah, hold on.
Can we play talk with the Greek now?
I think Dietrich should sing Zorba the Greek. I think he should sing.
No, actually, you got me there. I'll give you that. You actually got me there.
Bro, I'm so gonna clip that.
You got me there.
Now,
I'm not going to clip you. I don't clip anyone. Yeah, Dietrich. Sorry, Steve. Can you make this a bit bigger?
Yes.
Yeah,
copy the image and just zoom.
Yeah, I'm putting it on a Google slide.
Yeah.
Wait, Bodo Glimt in the Champions League.
So they have to go through. Is this better?
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck are we in part 3?
Basically, okay.
We've beaten half of these teams, man. We're going to go to the final.
Oh my god!
So let me just
the first week to win the Champions League.
So let me just.
We're winning the Champions League.
So let me just.
We're playing Union SG. We'll beat Copenhagen, Sherdov, Zurich, whatever it is, Club Brugge, and then we'll beat Bodo Glimt in the final because they upset Real Madrid, and we'll be champions next season. Boom! That was season 3. That's what Edge was talking about. Season 3 is being better. Watch, the teams that we just named is the path to Champions League glory.
So let me just explain this real quick. If there's a check mark next to the name, it's confirmed.
Okay.
So if you look at like the teams that don't have a check mark, Bodo Glimt are not in, but they're projected to get out of these playoffs, right? Playoff round. Celtic will be there as champions of Scotland, FC Basel, Sturm Graz, Bodo Glimt. Then you have Nice, Feyenoord. So third qualifying round. We start first qualifying round with the Icelandic teams and all that shit.
How do they do the schedules, Steve? If they don't have the brackets anymore, so how do they do the strength of schedule? Like what do you mean? Like how do we get to play everybody?
No, so all right, let me go back to this. What's gonna happen is Spurs are gonna draw 2 teams from each pot, right?
Yeah.
For the group stage. They just can't be from England.
From England.
So you can't play Man City in the group stage, but you can play Bayern Munich because they're obviously German. So like Benfica's not confirmed. Club Brugge isn't confirmed. Bodo Glimt, Celtic, Ferencváros are in as Copenhagen. But
how many games do we play, Steve?
8.
8 games.
So do we play 2 other teams from pot 3 the same as ours then?
Yeah, pot 4. Yeah. Pot 3. Yes. So you will play either PSV, Ajax, Napoli, Sporting, Olympiacos, Slavia Praha, and Olympique de Marseille.
Yeah, we're getting cooked.
We'll play Olympiacos.
So I'll go first from a Newcastle side. Who do I want Newcastle to draw from each pot? So I want to play. Who do I want to play? I want to play Real Madrid. I want to play. I want to play.
Steve. Why are you in pot 4? Why are you in pot 4 and we're in pot 3?
Look at the coefficient.
Lick his chops to play Tottenham.
It's how many
Look at the
points
coefficient.
the coefficient. Because we've been in the
right.
the Europa Cup.
Got you. Okay.
So
Okay. Cool.
So the coefficient, we're so low, and Athletic Club and Union Saint-Gilloise is so low because I haven't been in Europe. If you notice, Real Madrid are at 143. They're in Europe quite a lot, right? And they win it. So, but anyways, so who do I want to play from pot 1? Me personally, from Newcastle, I do want to play Real Madrid. See what happens, and I want to play Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, okay. Dortmund. Give me Dortmund. From pot 2, I want to play Atletico Madrid because I think that would just be a bar fight. That would be hilarious to watch. And I want to play Atalanta. From pot 3, give me Olympique de Marseille and PSV. And from pot 4,
Glimt, mate. Hey, Bodo Glimt.
And from pot 4, I want to play from pot 4, Galatasaray and Athletic Club from Spain.
I see a way for us to get to the knockout stages. All right, let's just say automatically, all right, we lose 2 games in pot 1. We lose to Barcelona and, I don't know, Bayern Munich, right? Yeah. In pot 2, we can hope for Eintracht, right? We beat Frankfurt, right? So we'll get Frankfurt and Club Brugge, right? Yeah. And then in pot 3, we get Bodo Glimt and Slavia Praga. And then pot 4, Union SG and, let's say, Galatasaray. Now, I know the fans won't be happy because we're not playing big.
Fenerbahce. Easier.
Fenerbahce. So, but I don't care of us playing a primetime game All I care is advancing.
See, Mari, I'm different from you with that. I want to play like the big games. Like I want to see what happens if Newcastle play Real Madrid. I want to see.
So this is the way Spurs can do it. We play all the teams Mari said, and we come out the group, right? So now we're in the knockout stage. We then fuck off the league, rest everyone just for European football, tumble down the league, let all the YouTubers have a meltdown, and just play pragmatic Mourinho ball and fucking pull it out the bag. We finished 15th in the league, but we're crowned Champions League winners. And then we meet back here, right? We meet back here in 1 year's time and have a massive Ange in, Ange out brow. What do you reckon?
Yeah. If that happens, I'm saying now. If we win the Champions League, I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying a word. I will not say a word. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I will not say a word.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Listen. Okay, reality check. Andrew's gone end of October. Glasner comes in, tries to save the Champions League season. Quick super chat from Zanilla who says, "Still credit to you for admitting you were wrong." Thank you very much.
Wait, but still, I didn't get everyone's answer. So, who do you want to play in the in the group stage? Who do you want to play?
The easiest team possible. I want to play the easiest teams possible, man. I don't want to. The lowest coefficient. Right? What's the lowest coefficient in each group? All right. So
you want to play Athletic Club? You want to play Athletic Club?
So in pot 2, Bruges and Frankfurt. In pot 3, Bordeaux, Marseille, and is Athletic Club Bilbao?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, look, we know how to win in their stadium, so let's fucking go to their ground again and do it again. We know how to win.
You would rather play them than Union Saint-Gilloise.
No, I don't want to play Athletic, man. Man United got lucky that Bilbao's players were injured. They were lucky, Man United. They missed. Bilbao had a lot of players missing.
And they got a man sent off as well.
Can you imagine we played Conte, Napoli? Oh, damn. The payback that this guy will want.
Has Conte been sacked as manager of Napoli?
No.
He hasn't. Okay,
no, why would he?
That he's been sacked.
No.
He's not been sacked.
If he doesn't get the backing that he wants, he may leave.
He'll walk out.
They go for KTB. They go.
But by the way, I just want to quickly say to you.
Is that true? Wait. Is that true? No. I would have gotten a little. No.
There's a comment here from Tottenham Till I Die Forever. No one can enjoy our success at Tottenham. Stel, can you give us any cool stories from your time in Bilbao? Right, I'm going to do one better.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually putting together a movie of the whole thing. It's going to come out in a couple of weeks' time because it's going to take me a lot of time to put it together. It's literally from the day I left my house to the last game today, going to Spain, out there, the match, the pre-match, the post-match, coming back, the fans in the airport, the parade, the post-match parade, me being broken, knackered, tired, and then today's final game. So there's a lot of content. I'm just going to make one big movie like The Road to Glory or...
it's true. Content has left.
Did you interview any Man United fans?
I haven't seen anything official, Mari.
Well, no, I'm seeing a lot of articles. It's just said he departs Napoli. Another one saying...
I'm just saying it's not official yet. That's all.
It's not official, but it pretty much everybody's saying, yeah, he's about to bounce.
No, I think he will too.
Wow,
man, that means he knows he can't take it any further than what he's done. Then
He will.
Conte,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it right now. Conte is one of the greatest maximizers of talent on a short-term basis I've seen in professional sports. It's crazy. It really is. Very admirable.
Allegri is.
Allegri's
Listen,
dusted. He's
boys and girls. Go on, sorry, man.
He's one of the most overrated managers. I don't like Allegri. When we were linked to him a while back, I didn't want Allegri, but
he's rubbish.
He was the Chelsea manager.
I think he's overrated.
No, Ellie.
That was the other
Sarri.
one.
Sarri.
No, I know who Allegri is now. Yeah.
I think Allegri.
I couldn't
Him and Rudy Garcia, the two managers I don't like at all.
No, nobody.
You know the one who was going to pull off Kepa, and Kepa didn't want to come off.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
Maurizio
it, sorry.
Yeah.
I get Allegri and sorry mixed up.
I have friends.
Listen, before we have this big Italian manager debate, right? I'm going to wrap up the show. It's been 4 hours. We didn't talk anything about the Brighton game, which is completely not what the show's about. And thank you very much. Tomorrow, everyone, we will be going live in the evening. We've got our Monday night show. I did have a banner for it somewhere here. There it is. You're going to like that. There you go.
Yeah.
Come and check it out. It's going to be a good one. I'm sure Maz and Lee are going to have plenty to say as well. Come and check it out at 8:30. I'm doing a tactical analysis show, I think, at 10 a.m. I might delay that. It's a bit early. Tomorrow I'm big up. But before we go,
Tuesday, we got set up the episode of North London is ours. We will have that fraud that is Stefan. We'll have Connor.
I'm coming on.
Tuesday is going to be juicy. North London is ours.
I will be there.
Check out North London is ours on Tuesday. Stefan is going to get grilled, and he's going to deflect and just say things like Tottenham shit. I guarantee it. Let's go around. Everyone have a say. Mari, final words before we wish everyone a good night.
I'm glad this season's over. We've shown the armpits. We won a trophy, and that's the thing that makes me happy. The thing that is sad is that we were shit in the league. So now, after the hangover, this is with Matt, same thing. These next couple weeks is the most important time in our club. Other clubs are already making moves. So we need to figure out what is going to happen next with our club. So we need to hope for the best. But we celebrate today in the stadium, though we lost. We are the champions of Europe. And so Spurs is an enigma. We're happy, but yet sad. We're split. So my final words is that we want trophy. I mean, no one can deny it. 17 years I've been waiting. I cried. And so I'm happy about it. But we need a surgery. Like Matt says, a big surgery. And so who will be our surgeon? Will it be Ange or will it be somebody else? Does he deserve to be? No. What, over Ange? Yeah. Who will be our surgeon? Will it be Ange or will it be somebody else? We will find out. We will be here to talk about it.
We will be here. The cool, calm cat. That is Matt. Matt, bro, thanks for coming on as always. What's your final say on anything? I think
we're a basket case of a fan base is what I've come to the conclusion. We are day 4 or day 5 after winning a European trophy, and we've never been more divided as a fan base. Is what I've come to the conclusion. I just hope people pay attention to the transfer window, and when clubs are signing players like Cunha, and the season has just finished, and we're linked with players like Kyle Walker-Peters, we need to start paying attention to that. We need to pay attention to the fact that we have the lowest wage structure pro rata to turnover in Europe. We need to pay attention to that. So when September the 1st and the transfer window slams shut and we are in the bargain basement picking up players at 10 to 11, we need to pay attention to that. So that's what I'm hoping over the next month. More shows will be discussing, as opposed to reams and reams of spreadsheets on Angie's loss record and his points per game record, which has been done to death. Let's focus on what Tottenham are going to do in the close season, what Tottenham are going to do at the start of next season, and hopefully more of us will become a little bit more aligned, because we're all Spurs fans, I hope. I'm still doubting one or two people, but I'll keep that to myself. But I'm hoping most of us are still Tottenham fans, and we surely we want success for Spurs, as opposed to it was a handball or it was a VAR or it was a tap-in. I'm hoping we'll actually start celebrating Spurs lifting a trophy. So that's all, folks. And thanks for the invite, Stel. I've enjoyed the passion in the comments and on the panel. And we're European champions. That's all for me.
Damn right. Steve, fellow bird badge wearing trophy winning club.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can we have Tonali, please?
Yeah, and Grimares and Isak and Livramento.
And
Gordon.
Yeah. It's been a good season. It's been a good season for my club. Been a good season. Go big or go home in the transfer window. That's all I'm gonna say. And let's see what we can do next season. Go big or go home. Give me a goalkeeper, 2 center backs, right winger of top quality. Let's go do something. But yeah, awesome season. Awesome fucking season. Carabao Cup was fucking amazing. And Man United, of all fucking teams, somehow, gave us a Champions League spot as well. Villa absolutely folded away at Man United, which is fucking crazy because we didn't beat Everton, which I'm still pissed off about, but we at least is what it is. But big up to you guys for winning your trophy as well. Some clubs in London don't know how to win in Europe. Tell them. Yeah. I mean, look, our Arsenal are in this supposed third-rate competition, 2-3 times, actually a lot more times, and they didn't win it. So you guys have done that 3 times. So I guess that's more of a them problem than you. So it's what it is, man. It's what it is. But we like to win trophies around here. Maybe not.
That's right.
Again, and other London clubs like to win too, like Crystal Palace as well. So Arsenal, I can't wait for next season. Yeah. I cannot wait for next season to watch it all again, like
Netflix,
a good
FC.
comedy skit routine.
Netflix FC.
And also Sunderland, I cannot wait to kick your ass twice next year. I cannot wait. I cannot wait until they get relegated with the other 2 fucking promoted teams. I can't wait. So I'm looking forward to next season. That's all I'm going to say.
I just want to say congratulations to Crystal Palace for being the official big club of South London now, no longer Arsenal. Crystal Palace are the biggest club from South London. Well done. Big up to Crystal Palace. D-Trix, your final words, and just a reminder that Angie's Greek. D-Trix? All right. Dietrich has disappeared. Ellie, thanks for coming on as always. Oh, by the way, everyone, smash a like, subscribe to Strasbourg Steve's channel and to Mr. Box Office's channel and to Dan E's Hotspur Hood channel as well. I forgot to mention that.
Right, yeah. I just want to end on our great manager, Bill Nicholson, said, "You're nothing. You've had a bad season if you haven't won anything." And he also said, "At Spurs, we have to be the best, not the second best." And Levy said he wants to put us at the top. So put your money where your mouth is, Mr. Levy, and put us back at the top where we belong. Because Manchester City did it. They were nobodies. And look where they are now. Right? So why can't we do this at Spurs? We've got everything in place to do it. So let's do it. Let's make our club great again. And this Europa Cup, it's the start of something. It's a catalyst, hopefully. We don't want to go backwards. 17 years we waited for this trophy. We want to go forward and make our club great, right? So we can be like the Manchester City. We don't want to be like Arsenal, do we? We're winning nothing. Get back to Woolwich, Arsenal. South London massive. No, you're not. And we're champions, champions. Ole, ole, ole.
What a beautiful picture that is, isn't it? It's just fucking stunning picture. That.
Love it.
I just want to say thank you to William for being a member of the channel, 25 months, a user, designated Hotspur, Swanix, Jason Whale, I Hate Marmite, TJ Warren and Christian A, Sanilla, Jamie, Artist, Jamie Allen, and Snilla again. Thank you all for your super chats. Big up to all of you. Big up to the panel. And look, all I'm going to finish on is this. Come on, you fucking Spurs, man. Get him. See you tomorrow. We're out of here.
Champions, ole, ole.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.